High school football is back and on the air on 1480 KRAE. This evening, live from Cheney Alumni Field in the Oil City, Casper, Wyoming, it's the Casper Natrona Mustangs playing host to the Cheyenne Central Indians. High school football on 1480 KRAE is being brought to you by our fine sports sponsors. Now let's send it to Casper Natrona High School and Cheney Alumni Field for this evening's contest as the Mustangs play host to the Cheyenne Central Indians. Before the opening kickoff, let's check in with our pregame show right here on 1480 KRAE Cheyenne.
Good evening. Welcome from the Oil City, Casper Natrona High School at Cheney Alumni Field. Nick Proietti, yours truly, Larry Proietti. We are here ready to bring you, I want to say, a historical football game, Nick, because it all happened here in Natrona County back in mid-March when they canceled out the basketball tournament because of the COVID-19 outbreak. So we are going to have fans in stands. We got two football teams on the field.
Limited fans in stands.
It's week 0, so this is going to be our opening football contest.
But it's game 1 of the regular season, so again, this game does count towards, again, the records here in 2020. But yes, we are underway. Unlike other states in this country, again, we actually have high school football that is mattering. Again, it's regular season underway here. Again, in a big matchup between Cheyenne Central, the number 4 team in the preseason polls in Class 4A, taking on the number 3 team in those Class 4A preseason polls in Natrona County, the Mustangs. So again, looking forward to that. Even though this is one game happening here in Casper, there is other games happening here in the Oil City and also two throughout the entire state of Wyoming.
And the other Oil City game will be at Kelly Walsh as the Trojans will play host to the South High Fighting Bison. And Cheyenne East will be in the Razor City. They have a date with the Thunder Basin Bolts. So all 3 of our high schools will be playing football tonight. We are excited. 40 minutes away from game time. We do want to thank all our fine sponsors. We're going to run down the list for you. Again, we appreciate all of them being with us, even during the unique time that we've been experiencing in 2020. Thank you to Shine Auto Repair and Service, the LCCC Flight Crew, Baskin Robbins, Halliday Motors, Merritt Plumbing and Heating, Burns Insurance Agency, Pete's Builders, Mary's Mountain Cookies, the Gill Window Company, Taco John's, Medicap Pharmacy, Platte Valley Bank, MHP LLP, Lennox Auto Body, First Tier Bank, Kia of Cheyenne, Wyoming Department of Transportation, Capital Lumber Company, the Bread Basket Bakery, B&B Appliance and TV, Charles Schwab, Shine Urological, Chick-fil-A, Laramie County Community College, High West Energy, Foot of the Rockies, and on the way up, we want to thank John over at Arrow Moving and Storage, who just joined us on the drive up. Well, actually, he called us while we were driving up, so we want to thank Arrow Moving and Storage as well.
Absolutely.
Joining us on our football broadcast for the season, and hopefully we're going to get the whole thing in.
Yeah, hopefully, again, fingers crossed at this point in time. Games, are underway. We do have a few 6 o'clock games, and also some that will be at least later on at 7 o'clock. But looking at the schedule for today, outside of Central versus Natrona County, games that will be getting on, at least underway at 7 o'clock. Cheyenne South, as you mentioned, over at Casper Kelly Walsh. That game's a 7 o'clock start time. Campbell County will play host to the Rock Springs Tigers. And then games that are currently underway, Cheyenne East does have a 7-0 lead over the Thunder Basin Bolts, or at least in the first quarter. And Sheridan already out big, 14-0 over the Laramie Plainsmen. That game happening up in Sheridan. That is also 2 in the first quarter. So, again, we already have high school football underway here in Class 4A with a few scores, a few teams on the board.
Off and running. That's what I like to hear. All right. We have a 7 o'clock kickoff tentatively slated here at Cheney Alumni Field between the Casper and Natrona Mustangs. They're in their home black uniforms with the white numerals. Cheyenne Central, the Indians in their travel whites with their red numerals and the black outline. So we are going to take a timeout, and when we come back, our pregame show continues. We will go down this way with our athletic director's report. Chad Whitworth from Cheyenne Central joined us. Our opposing coach, the legendary one, Steve Harshman here at Casper Natrona. We'll follow that up with Mike Apodaca, Cheyenne Central head coach. Our weekly schedule, which is, like Nick mentioned, already in progress, and then we'll come back with the starting lineup. So stay tuned. More on the way right here on 1480 KRAE.
You get everything you want with the new 2020 Kia Forte. AJ Miller here for Kia of Cheyenne. And this sport compact sedan has advanced technology, sleek styling, awesome connectivity, and plenty of space for passengers. The new GT line provides an available 201 horsepower turbocharged engine for responsive acceleration, quick shifting, and even more fun at the wheel. See the Forte today at Kia of Cheyenne. Call 775-0123 or go to kiaofcheyenne.com. We'll make it easy.
On our athletic director's report for this weekend, we get to talk with Cheyenne Central Athletic Director Chad Whitworth. Chad, before we get into the crux of football season, hey, let's talk about, we're back at it again. Sports is back. Student athletes are back on campus, and we have other activities going on. And, of course, I'm sure you're liking it because you're running around all over the place right now.
Yeah, trying to get everything going with all the restrictions and things that we've got to follow for each event. And the fact that it varies from event to event has made it pretty difficult. And, you're just trying to make sure that that we do the best we can to keep everybody safe and allow our kids to have that contest each week, And like I said in our parent meetings, it's a situation where my goal, and I think I said it when I was on with you guys earlier in the summer, that my goal is to get our athletes to a culminating event, and however we have to do that and whatever rules we have to follow, that's what we're going to do. So it's just been tough and time consuming for all the ADs across the state. And, but with that, what I would say is I would credit Commissioner Laird and Trevor Wilson on the job they've done working with the state health people and coordinating and getting us an opportunity to at least try to have this fall season.
Now, moving on to football, a couple of things that came to mind and we were discussing on our program, so we'll get it straight from you. Again, you're being on the board with the Wyoming High School Activities Association, and again, being the athletic director at Cheyenne Central. Hygienics. Let's talk about when the kids are done playing football, they usually don't shower. So, are changes going to be made in the hygienics for these young people so they don't come in contact with this COVID-19?
Well, I think that I guess I can't speak to whether kids do or don't shower after contest. I think most do, certainly when we're on the road. I think a lot of times kids when we're at home would go, would go home and shower, I suppose. But as far as a mandate, I don't know if that's what you're asking me. I don't think we're going to have a mandate. I would certainly, what we're doing for our visiting schools is going to provide them, kind of some rules as far as things that we ask them to do. Obviously, we have a community shower in the 2 PE locker rooms at Central, and then in our girls' varsity locker room, for example, has individual showers. And so we're going to put some things in place that allow them and hopefully keep the kids safe and allow those athletes to shower and do just personal hygiene and things like that after contests.
Appreciate that answer. And then also, too, as we look forward to our first football contest, we go on the road. Coach Apodaca is going to bring, enough kids with him. Do we have 2 buses now for the kids, or are they all going to be on one bus? Again, Chad, I hate to ask these questions, but in this day and age, things change almost minutely.
Well, so what we'll do, the protocols we have in place for travel are a little bit dependent on how far we're going. For example, when we obviously making that trip to Casper, and it's something that's a little bit longer, we're going to go one per seat, one athlete per seat. They will be asked to wear masks. And then, so in that case, obviously with taking, up to 50 kids, then we're going to need 2 buses. And, the district obviously understands that, and they understand our plight, and we understand theirs too, that we have limited drivers and limited buses and things like that. So, we're all trying to make it work, and everybody, I certainly, appreciate everything our district's done as well. Once we found out we were going to have fall sports, that everybody sort of worked together and tried to get a plan in place that we hope keeps our athletes safe, and again gets us to the end of the fall.
Chad, I asked this of Coach Apodaca, and I'll ask this of you as well too. One of the advantages for Coach Apodaca is that his young men aren't in school this week, just simply for the fact that we've backed up school to next week. You as the athletic director and all of the sports that are going on, and there are a lot of fall sports, having that one extra week just to spend with your student athletes and coordinating all of the events, has that been I guess, taking some of the burden off your shoulders and also kind of giving you a direction of what you can expect for sports throughout the course of the year?
Well, a little different for me, because obviously what I do every day is going to be similar to whether we have students in school or not. I think the one nice thing is there's probably fewer distractions this week, not having, a school full of kids. And when I say distraction, I just mean with all the changes that are going to take place for us to have kids in our building, I probably will have a little less focus at times where I need to help out and do some other things. So, but I will say, obviously, having the week without students and trying to figure out all of the protocols and how we're going to manage this, it's certainly been nice to have that time to try to organize it.
And final thought, we'll talk about our fall sports and again, give us some highlights and things that you're gearing up for right now. And of course, football, we'll save that for the, I guess I'll say we'll save the best for last, because a lot of high expectations for the football team. But let's talk about some of our fall sports that are going on right now.
Well, tennis and golf have really started they've started contests. They're a couple of weeks into that. They started practice the same time football did. And so we hosted some tennis matches this past weekend, and which was exciting, and I think everybody was sort of excited to see a sports happening again in our community, at least the high school sports happening again. And so our girls tennis team is phenomenal, and had they're having a great year already, and had a great match with Kelly Walsh last weekend. And and our tennis numbers are up, and our boys numbers are high, and just shows what a good job the coaches are doing and getting those kids. Golf's the same way. They've been out and traveling, and some of that, with tennis and golf and cross country and those individual sports, we're sort of limited in the number of participants and things like that we can run in races or have in game matches and things like that. So we're juggling that. Cross country, we hosted a meet this morning that was in Cheyenne, and that's one of the big changes. We all met and did schedules, and so Cheyenne's going to host 4 cross-country meets this year, which typically we host 1, 2 if we're hosting the conference meet. So, those types of things are changes that we've put in place. And then swimming is fired up, and we have a ton of female swimming and diving, athletes, and they will be in Laramie this weekend. So, and then we host volleyball, I guess. Volleyball is here, and that was another change. We usually open this weekend with a home tournament, but with the protocols and the limited number of things that we want to have in place, we don't have that opportunity. So what we've got is we'll play the 2 Gillette schools this weekend, and I think Rock Springs is coming in, and so we've just kind of had to make some schedule changes in that regard. But yeah, this weekend will be a full slate. Everybody will be competing, and it'll be hopefully safe for everybody, but also fun to have high school sports back in Cheyenne.
And I'm going to hit you up on that football program again, coming off a 7-4 season, a lot of veteran talent coming back. Coach Apodaca, and it looks like those kids have bought into that system. I expect big things from the Indians this year.
Yeah, I know they're excited. It's football I think was the one that everybody was most concerned about trying to get going, and so we have it. And I think the expectations that you talk about, Larry, are one thing, and that creates some excitement. But I think the other thing that's creating a buzz and an excitement is the fact that we're going to have an opportunity to do it. And so I think that's the kids and the parents are fired up, and I know that there are high expectations, and I know that the kids are ready to bounce back and get after it, and I know the coaches are working hard, and so it'll be fun, and I just hope, again, you'll hear me say it probably all fall long, I just hope we can do this safe, and I hope we can get these kids to the end of this fall season.
Cheyenne Central Athletic Director Chad Whitworth on our pregame show, which has been adjusted this year simply for the fact that we don't have anything concerning the Mountain West Conference or the Wyoming Cowboys to talk about football-wise. We'll have more of our pregame show right after this here on 1480 KRAE. Well, right now we have the extreme pleasure of talking with our opposing coach for this evening, and he is head coach Steve Harshman of the Casper Natrona Mustangs. And again, Coach Harshman, in addition to being an educator, also a legislator. And again, Coach, it's been an interesting start to 2020 for you.
Yeah, boy, it sure has. And a lot of empathy for everybody. All this craziness is really, I think, everybody's been affected, and all across our state. And so, yeah, it's been we've been working at it, pretty hard, real hard actually, and on the legislative front and doing all that. But the beauty of this deal, we're starting hopefully to get back to some opening up to normal kind of routine. And I tell you, it's been so good for kids, to get back, kids and adults and everybody. And I think just this whole human interaction, it's just you don't realize what you miss until you don't have it, and I think everybody's really grateful to be back and go on.
Coach, you've been at this a long time with the Casper Natrona Mustangs, and again, I'm not aging us by any stretch of the imagination, but let me ask you this question. You've been at this for a long time. It's been a very successful program. That probably might answer my question, but what keeps the fire, the juices flowing for you to come back in year out and coach this Mustangs program?
Well, yeah, I appreciate it. I think, first of all, we're got a great school, great community, and parents and kids, and then our staff and, administrators to our assistant coaches. A lot of us been together a long time, so this is my 30th year in Natrona County, and I think it's my 47th football team, as a player and a coach, and so just been really blessed. And I think, I think the big thing is, I believe in it, and I love it, and I believe in the power of football and education and all those things to teach some things that just have to be taught, and teamwork and responsibility and working hard and setting goals. All those things are so important, and it's not necessarily intelligence or any of those other things. It's really the grit, the hard work, and the preparation. And football to me is just this sport in particular is just all about preparation. It's not like some sports where you might have 100 games you play in. Football is very different, very few contests, and you got to love the getting ready part, and so I think there's a real benefit for kids. And so that's a part of it. And it's just been really a real blessing, and I think, as you get older, you hopefully learn from all the mistakes you make too and continue to get better. So,
Coach, you look at what happened this past summer with the baseball programs, the Legion programs, girls fast pitch, in addition to our softball leagues and stuff. And of course, it kind of opened the door for high school athletics because of the success that we had, and people were social distancing, and we kept the virus down to a minimum here in our state. Tell me how important, in your opinion, is it for not just week 0 to get underway on Friday, but how important it is for this football season to go wire to wire for the state of Wyoming?
Well, yeah, I just think it's, for all those reasons, I think that we've kind of visited about it. It's just really this whole human interaction, all the things you miss, and we were practicing last night. You see our marching band out there, and those kids, it's all the stuff that's out there. And I think that, us in this profession, and we know and raise kids and all that stuff, we know the value of all that, kids throwing their heart and soul into whatever passion they have, and all those things are so important. And human interaction, as I mentioned. So I think it's really important, and I think it's, I think it's just for our whole morale too of all of us, where it's a sign that we're getting back to normal and moving in the right direction. And again, I mean, with a lot of empathy and a lot of caution and concern, and trying to do the very best we can to make sure that we do all this right and keep everybody safe and keep moving forward. But as you mentioned, we've been really blessed in Wyoming. Been kind of a outlier, where our cases of those kind of things. So hopefully we can continue that and keep moving forward.
Coach, your opponent this week, and again, not that really you want to get a tune-up game in, but you come right out of the box with a team that's breathing fire. And you're talking about a team, too, that is a good rivalry with Casper Natrona going way back when. But we're talking the Cheyenne Central Indians, Mike Apodaca, his third season, and he's got a very veteran team coming back. This team on both sides of the football, and you've been in this business a long time, they pose a lot of problems for you.
Well, they do, and I think so. The Cheyenne Indians and the Casper Mustangs played now over 100 times, longest rivalry certainly in Wyoming, and one of the longest in the country. So a lot of history. Used to travel by train to play each other, and so a lot of history, a lot of great people, and you're right, boy. This year the Indians are loaded, and you've seen this process, and I think Coach Apodaca's really. He's really got them going in the right direction, and they've got some serious, up front and the skill guys, the big twins, and all those kind of things. So we've got our work cut out for us, but, we're just doing the best we can to keep getting ready and get our guys all healthy and be ready to go on Friday.
And final thought, let's compliment your Casper Natrona Mustangs, because, you're one of the programs that we always say down here that just reloads each and every year, and that's, again, to the success of, as you mentioned, your coaching staff and all of these young men that want to come out and play football for the Mustangs. Tell us a little bit, and unfortunately, graduation does hit your team like everybody else, but positions that you saw as you got into summer camp that you needed to really take a serious look at, and who's going to fill those positions.
Right. I think probably where we're most veteran, certainly our quarterback, Harrison Talbert, he threw a touchdown pass in the state championship game when we won it his sophomore year, and he started every game last year, battled through injury and illness and all those things, and has really done a nice job, and so that's a key part for us. I think we've got a couple receivers, that played a lot, and particularly Kobe Kelly. Me and Allison will be counted on to do some good things. And then we've got some linemen back, and I think that's really probably the strength of our team, where we, last year, boy, we had 9 different starting lineups on the offensive line throughout the season through injury and illness and all those kind of things. And I think we probably got more depth with our big guys than we've had in a while, and that's always good news. And I think we're probably a little thin really is in numbers is kind of linebacker, running backs, and those are kind of the same kids a lot of times. And so we're a little bit lean there. But, and speaking of just kids, we've got 175 kids out playing football. And and I tell you, we've had over 120 kids haven't missed a day of practice, for any reason. And it just goes back. I think kids are just so grateful to kind of be a part of something and get going. And so again, I think it's just that power of football. They're not all going to be great football players down the road, but they're going to be a part of a team and learn some skills, learn all that. So that's the thing. We're just going to keep moving it forward. And I think our guys will be a pretty good outfit before we're all done. But as you said, no tune-ups this year. We go from the Central Indians to the, East Thunderbirds and then the second week. So it's bang, bang. We got to be ready.
Casper Natrona Mustangs head coach Steve Harshman on our pregame show. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back with more right after this.
College has been something that's always been on the back of my mind.
This is where I found what I wanted, one of my passions, what I really love to do.
In class, I feel more engaged.
The people here do care about you, and they want to help you succeed in life.
They make it so easy to be a parent and be able to still go to school.
I like the way I'm improving.
I love being, part of the WHSAA family, and I'm glad I made this step in my life.
Right now we're talking with head coach Mike Apodaca of the Cheyenne Central Indians as the Indians get ready for battle against the Casper and Natrona Mustangs at Cheney Alumni Field. Coach, real quick, I'm going to talk about practice. And again, the year 2020 is a different beast, where practice had some changes, due to the fact that we are coming out of and technically we're still in a pandemic. But tell us a little bit how you had to approach practices this year with your young men.
I think where you saw the biggest change is, things like team meetings where, obviously the kids all had to wear masks. We had to probably be more creative, and a lot of times, maybe our upper kids or JV and varsity kids are together during film. We had to separate out because we just didn't have spaces big enough, just with different things going on in the school. Saw that on the field. We've got some, spacing, distancing things that we do on the sidelines when the kids get water and that sort of thing. And, all the kids have a net gaiter, so that for whatever reason they can't separate. They can slip that on real quick. So, I think at this point, we've definitely created a new norm. I don't think, we have to remind the kids every once in a while, but they're pretty darn good at it. So I think that's become normal now. And I think the next step, honestly, is travel, how a game is presented, to be honest with you. I don't think that, between the lines, obviously, there's no difference sort of thing, but just sideline stuff, how to get water, how many people can be on a sideline, different things like that. Well, how we travel on a bus, changing lockers. We haven't even been in our locker room yet. The kids kind of come prepared to practice since they haven't been in school. So there's still some hurdles that we got to get over, but, I think we've managed it well and just creating a new norm.
Coach, one thing I wanted to mention, too, talking about a new norm, kids are going to be going back to school, but it was backed up a week. So you get a chance with your student athletes to get one extra week of practice without school being an interference to these guys. That has to help you out a little bit in preparation for Natrona.
I think it does. I think, they're probably a little bit more rested, and we can have maybe a little bit longer practice than we would normally during the school week. So, yeah, without a doubt, it was beneficial. I won't lie.
All right, so let's get into the meat and potatoes. This is a team that went 7-4 last year, lost in the semifinals, talking about your Central Indians. Come back with a lot of promise this year. Again, the big hole you have to fill is the shoes of Dawson McCleary. Of course, the talk was maybe that Bradley Fieser was going to jump in there and take over from McCleary. I had my own thoughts about it. I was thinking that, Nathaniel Talich as a freshman was the backup at one time. You moved him out to wide receiver last year. I thought he might be one of those candidates at the quarterback position. I hear you had a transfer come in from Eagle Crest, Colorado. I do believe his name is Cummins. So tell us a little bit about that quarterback battle. Where are we at, and have you got a game-time decision yet?
We do, and, I'm not one to hold my cards too much. We did have a good competition, and they all brought something to the table. And, the reality is the quarterback position obviously gets a lot of attention in general, and especially because that's really the only piece that we had to replace. So I understand that piece of it. But, we've really talked to all the kids about, there were competitions at a lot of different positions. And, we really are trying to get them to buy in that this is a piece of the puzzle. And to that point, what we were really set on is trying to get the kids back there that allowed us to have the best team, and that's where things probably, started fitting into a hole a little bit better. And, I'll tell you what, Bradley's still learning the position. That kid's going to be a really good signal caller, when his time comes, but he's new to the position and, comes a little bit late from post six and hasn't played a lot in the position. I mean, really last year was his first year playing it. So he's got a little, maturing to do, not necessarily as a kid. He's a very mature kid, but just in the position. And Nathan Talich, boy, I was super impressed with how he came out and competed in this position. We really didn't know a lot about Nate. As you said, he was a freshman kid that, was kind of a backup because we just didn't, have anything. You don't like to have a freshman there, but thankfully Dawson was able to stay healthy. And, last year he was probably our emergency quarterback as well. And although Dawson ended up being injured, he gamed it out through the whole season. And really, Nate didn't get many reps there. And so, we had to see, and I was proud of him. And Nate did a great job. And Andy Cummins, the transfer that we did get, a kid that kind of more of a trained quarterback, I would say, and probably has a little bit more time under his belt in that position. And so we were really charged with trying to get the best team. And the way we're going in is, Andy's going to start, and we've moved Nate back out to receiver and defensive, so he'll start on both sides of the ball. And Nate's a kid that can affect the game so strongly on both sides of the ball. And, we don't generally play our quarterbacks on defense just because, we want them, we need them and don't have a lot of backup. And so one of the things I told Nate is he's not going to be able to play both, sides of the ball. And Nate just really felt like, he could help on both. So I think right now, having Nate at receiver, what that really does for us is it gives us all four weapons back. And I think that was our main focus, is putting the best kids out there. And now we've got, you're going to have to kind of pick your poison, I think, on how you're going to defend us with Nate out there and Andrew Johnson both on the edge. So Andy Cummins will get the start, and, we'll just see how it goes. The other thing with Andy is I've never seen him in live bullets. So I guess there's still some sort of evaluation piece going, but I do feel confident that, he has the right, tools to get the ball to the guys.
Speaking of getting the ball to the guys, and again, I would hope this would bring a smile to your face, Coach, but you got the hosses up front, and you got some big guys that are going to be able to open up some big holes for another returning running back in Carter Lobato. So you have to sit here and kind of smile a little bit. Matter of fact, on both sides of football, you got some big kids that are going to be ready to play some football for you.
Yeah, we really do. I mean, up front, there, it does bring a smile to your face when you've got 5 returning guys coming back and a little depth behind them that they can get blows, because a couple of them will play a little bit both sides, and so we feel like we got some depth there for the first time. And when you're bringing back such a big group, especially on the offensive side of it, it really does. Dawson was a warrior over the last 2 years, and that kid got hit probably more than any quarterback I've ever had. But again, we were playing sophomores. A lot of these guys are 3-year starters now, so they've just matured, and I think that's really going to help Andy as well. Have that time and confidence to then get the ball to the other guys. And then, Carter's just a workhorse. I mean, it's amazing to bring back, the leading rusher and darn near the leading tackle. He might be. I know he's second. I don't know if the kid ahead of him was a senior, but, it's really important that we have that kid behind us. He really is, as much as our line kind of gets things in place. I mean, he's a coach out there. And, another encouraging thing is Jaden Cummins. We'll be able to spell him. So for the first time, I feel like we can get Carter off the field a little bit, and Carter fresh is even more exciting. Good things, if we can take care of the ball on the offensive side.
And final thought, Coach, and you get the Casper Natrona Mustangs. Coach Steve Harshman has been at this game a long time. Good battles always between Cheyenne Central and Casper Natrona through the history. I have the opinion, and I've seen enough of these games over the years, I almost believe you want to get Casper Natrona early on your schedule. And, of course, every league game matters, so this is a league contest. Are you of that opinion? You want to catch them right out of the box? Because this is a team that seems to get stronger as the season progresses, and your team has been pretty much together for the last 3 years. They're loaded for bear. I would think you want Casper Natrona right now.
I hope our experience does help there, to be honest with you. I can't really speak to where they're at, but what I do know is that we have struggled in our first two openers, and the schedule makers haven't helped us. We opened with Thunder the last 2 years, and then Natrona, one of the strongest programs. So it is important. I will tell you that it's very important for us to try to get off on a good start and get this thing rolling early. 2, to your point, 1, it's just the way you want to do it. But with the uncertainty of how, finishing out a season, if things got called early, these early games are going to be pretty critical, I think. So, we're hoping to get a good start.
Giant Central Indians head coach Mike Apodaca on our pregame show. We will take a timeout. Be back with more after this on 1480 KRAE. Well, Casper Natrona High School and Cheney Alumni Field. Larry Proietti along with Nick Proietti. And let's introduce you to the starting lineups. Defensively, Casper Natrona will be on defense. Cheyenne Central won the toss they've elected to receive, so we are going to wait on the offensive side because they're getting ready to do the national anthem. On the defensive side for the Mustangs, they're going to line up in a 4-3 set. At nose will be Brendan Nelson. He is a junior. At one defensive tackle is a sophomore, Cody Crawford. The defensive end is DeAnthony Smith, a senior, and the other defensive end is Jace George. He's a senior. The linebackers on the outside will be Bo Hawkins and Preston Propp. Hawkins and Propp both juniors. And the inside linebacker is Jesse Rabe. He is a senior. In the backfield, your corners will be Kobe Kelly. He's a senior. And your other corner is another senior, Nolan Valdez. Strong safety is Caden Wilcox, a sophomore. And your free safety is Avery Cox. He is also a senior. Real quick, before we take a timeout, Nick, because we're going to get ready for the national anthem as the Mustangs. They were waiting for the Mustangs to come onto the field. Interesting on the coin flip, usually have all the captains exchange
gratuities.
Yeah.
They only had one of the captains. One was Carter Labatos for Cheyenne Central, and for the Mustangs, it was Harrison Taubert, the quarterback.
Yeah.
They were the only ones in the center circle.
Well, again, you had 4 that joined, but again, ones that went in, again, as we're keeping everything social distance at this point, again, as we're trying to make sure that we have a full season. So, again, that'll be the different change, or at least something new to expect here in 2020. But again, that is just something when you attend, at least if you're able to attend a high school game this season.
We do want to welcome our crowd from Cheyenne Central and Laramie County. Thanks for coming and making the road trip up here to Casper Natrona. Also, too, we want to welcome our worldwide audience, our regional audience, and our local audience as we get ready for high school football between Natrona and Cheyenne Central. We are going to take a 2-minute timeout. A 2-minute timeout. We'll be back after this on 1480 KRAE. To Cheney Alumni Field, Larry Proietti along with Nick Proietti. Hey, do want to mention, too, this field is an east-west field, Nick. So Cheyenne Central won the toss, and they've elected to receive, so they'll be going east-west on Cheney Alumni Field. So, again, we got a northerly wind. Really, it's not that bad, probably about 10 to 15 miles per hour. It's an absolutely gorgeous evening here in the Oil City. Cheyenne Central, again, will be offensively with the football. And let's introduce you to their starting lineup. At center will be 6'1", 246-pound senior Jeremy Koenig. On the guard side, it'll be T.J. Wilson, 5'11", 256, and a senior. He'll be joined by Joey Kostelecki, a 5'11", 187-pound senior. Your tackles are Colin Umel, who's 6'3", 200 pounds, a senior, and he'll be joined by Mark Martinez, 6', 209, senior. Your tight end is Brock Storbo, 6'5", 252, and a senior. Brady Storbo will be one split end at 6'5", 242, and a senior. Your other wideouts will be Nathaniel Talich. He's a 6'2", 174-pound junior, and he'll be joined on the other side by Andrew Johnson, a 6'1", 182-pound senior. Your quarterback is a transfer from Colorado for his senior year, Andrew Cummins.
Where, again, we thought that it would be at least the person who was anticipated, at least kind of took that front and center role, was going to be one, at least Feeser for Cheyenne Central. But, again, as you mentioned, a transfer from Colorado. He is a senior as well, too, so he's got some veteran experience. So excited to see what he's made of with, again, at least multitude of offensive weapons that Cheyenne Central has.
He's 5'11", 5'11" and 184-pound senior. In the backfield will be 5'11", 180-pound senior Carter Labatos. So for Cheyenne Central and head coach Mike Apodaca in his third season, coming off a 7-4 year last year. Again, and you hate to say this, but it's almost like the basketball team, a lot of high expectations and a lot of talk amongst Cheyenne Central fans that, hey, this could be the Indians' year. Well, they're going to get the acid test here on the road, especially taking on this Casper-Natrona Mustangs. They are big. They are strong. Steve Harshman, and the ironic thing about Steve Harshman, as I was thinking about this coming up, Steve Harshman has been here a long time, so he knows the ropes. He was coaching. He first stepped onto the field when Lou Roney was the head coach at Cheyenne Central, followed up by Brick Sigelski, Drew Severin, and now Mike Apodaca. That tells you how long Steve Harshman has been at the helm here. So the Natrona Mustangs, they are going to
as I say,
they're not going to show us anything different. They've been pretty much by the book every year.
Well, again, you might as well stay with that same playbook, so to speak, for Steve Harshman, because, again, it's found you a couple state titles, also 2 state runner-ups, again, multitude of playoff appearances. So for Natrona County, again, it is a rich history of success up, whether it's in Casper or at least throughout the state of Wyoming in Class 4A. So, again, this is going to be a big-time test for Cheyenne Central out of the blocks. Again, it is number 4 Cheyenne Central in the preseason polls, taking on number 3 Natrona County coming up.
And also, too, you look at this contest, I always say you want to catch Natrona early in the season because for some reason it's like they get better as the season rolls along. And I remember a Drew Severin ball club beat them 5-0 a few years back. So, again, you can catch these guys, not really totally prepared, where Cheyenne Central has been together, for the last couple of seasons. This is the third year for a lot of these guys under the Mike Apodaca system, so it's almost like second nature for them. Looking forward to this ball game. We're going to take a quick 60-second timeout. We'll be back with the opening kickoff right after this on 1480 KRAE Cheyenne. And welcome back to Cheney Alumni Field as we are ready to play football. The opening kickoff coming your way as the Natrona Mustangs and Ben Hoppins, 6'5", 200-pound senior, will boot it away for the Mustangs. Back deep will be Tegan Tippett along with Jaden Cummings. They'll stand right back at their goal line. Big foot into it by Tippett, and it's picked up by Cummings. Cummings at the 5 to the 10, 15, still on his feet, and drives forward just shy of the 20-yard line. Good football, good defensive coverage there, or kickoff coverage by the Natrona Mustangs. So Cheyenne Central will be backed up as they will operate the offense. Let's see, officially they'll spot it at the 16. They'll say Cummings' knees hit at the 16, so it'll be first down and 10 as we'll take a look at our new quarterback this year, replacing one graduated Dawson McCleary, Andrew Cummins. He will operate out of the gun. Labatos will be to his left. In motion comes Brady Storbo. Snap is back, hand off to Labatos. Labatos gets outside, still on his feet, and down to the 24, 23-yard line. It looks like about a 7-yard gain for Carter Labatos.
Expecting Labatos to have that football quite a bit here in today's game and throughout the 2020 season is what we saw last year. Again, he is a beast in the backfield for the Central Iowa Indians.
No huddle offense. Talich is split to the near side. Check that, that's Johnson, and Johnson makes the grab. He'll have the first down on the short aerial, looks like to the 28-yard line. So that'll be a pickup of 5, and it'll be first down and 10 as Cummins connects on his first pass of the night.
And Andrew Johnson for Cheyenne Central, who, again, is anticipated to be an All-American nationwide. And he's definitely going to get spotlighted by every team here in Class 4A.
Brady Storbo and Talich on top. Johnson to the near side. Back to pass goes Cummins. Finds Storbo wide open. Storbo to the 50, 40, down to the 30. Still on his feet, 20. And he'll be tripped up at the 9-yard line. Nice grab that time by Brady Storbo. Brady Storbo for Cheyenne Central brings it down to the 9-yard line. A pickup on the play as we get the old calculator out here. 41, 22, 63 yards on that pass play. Pass and catch.
And again, all those yak as well, too, for one Brady Storbo. Again, the big body just pushing and trying to maneuver through those Natrona County Mustang defenders.
It was just a quick hitter. In motion comes Johnson. They'll pitch it over to Johnson. Labatos out in front. He'll string him outside. Labatos puts a nice block in, and Johnson's in for the touchdown. Nice job by Carter Labatos. And what I liked about Andrew, he read Carter Labatos all the way. He was going to cut it in, then kicked it out, and took it in on the sweep for 9 yards. And Cheyenne Central quickly on the board. 10:45 to go here in quarter number 1.
That almost looked like a trouble player. At least it was not going to go anywhere for Cheyenne Central and one Andrew Johnson. But, again, Labatos being that blocker, finding those open spaces. And just like that, Central has the 6-0 lead.
Tippett will attempt the PAT, hold everything. We got a flag. And that comes from the umpire in the back. Your holders, Kenyon Lewis for Cheyenne Central.
And it's going to be against Natrona County on that flag. So as we get that all settled, and again, await the PAT.
And Central will
decline.
Yeah. I think it was too many men on the field.
Yeah. And again, all that's going to do is just shift the PAT just about a yard closer.
Lewis puts it down. Tippett puts it through, and it's good. Central 7-0 with only a minute 15 elapsed here in quarter number 1. We're back after this 30-second timeout on 1480 KRAE. And welcome back to Natrona High School. Central leads 7-0 early on a 9-yard Andrew Johnson's end sweep with a nice block from Carter Labatos, and it was all set up by a Brady Storbo 63-yard catch and run. Back deep will be Robert Douglas along with Caden Wilson. Tippett will boot it away for Cheyenne Central.
Yeah, what a start there for Cheyenne Central. Again, that's a way to make a statement on the road against a powerhouse team, Natrona County. So just like that, 7-0 lead here with 10:45 remaining in the first quarter for Cheyenne Central.
Tippett will put a foot into it end over end, and it'll drive into the end zone, Douglas. So for the Mustangs, they will operate first down at 10 on their own 20. They're led by senior quarterback Harrison Toppert. He's a 6'2", 176-pound senior. In the backfield will be Caden Wilcox, a 5'10", 158 junior. Avery Cox is the A-back. He's 5'11", 174, and a senior. Tight end will be Ben Hoppin, 6'5", 203 pounds, and a senior. Your flanker is Kobe Kelly, 6 foot, 157 senior. Your split end is Robert Douglas. He's a 5'10", 149-pound senior. We'll get the Hosses up front here after this play. It is now first down at 10 as Taubert will operate out of the shotgun. And he will roll to his left. Rolling, and falls on the turf, and he will lose 5 yards as he slipped down at, they'll say, the 15. Covering him up for Cheyenne Central. Looked like that was Kostelecki. So it'll be a loss right out of the box here for Taubert.
So again, not a hot start here for Natrona County on their home, at least home turf. And again, as you saw right there, again, slipping and sliding on the, again, the field turf that is here at Cheney Alumni Field.
So second down and 15. Taubert sends Cox in motion now. Will keep it himself, calls his own number, gets outside to the 20, to the 25, close to the first. He has the first down. He will bring it up to the 32-yard line. Nice run that time by Taubert. He got back the -5 plus 12 more, 17 yards on that run. First down at 10 for the Mustangs at their own 32-yard line.
And that's how Natrona can be dangerous right there, where, again, one slip up and they find a way to make it up.
Well, they ran over on Jake George's side, the left tackle. He's 6'5", 230, and a senior. Taubert with Wilcox to his right. He's back to pass. Steps, throws, he's got a man. That's Avery. Avery makes the grab at the 32. Brought down quickly. Looks like it was, I want to say that Johnson that brought him down.
I do believe that was Johnson.
Johnson brought him down at the 34. A 2-yard pass play, second down and 8.
Second and 8 here for Natrona County as they look over to Coach Harshman right now for the next play. Again, about 9:35 remaining here in the first quarter, where Central, again, as we mentioned, is up 7-0.
Taubert again out of the gun. You can hear a little breeze in the background. It's not bad, and Central will jump offside on the hard count. Popping offside for Cheyenne Central. Looked like that was Eli Castillo, so a 5-yard freebie for the Mustangs. One penalty each. Central negated their penalty because it was on the PAT. So that'll move the ball up to the 39-yard line. Second down is short. Kobe Kelly to the near side. Also lined up, flanked to the near side will be Avery. Handoff this time. Oh, nowhere to go. Bunched up right away, and down he goes.
Swallowed up there, and it looked like T.J. Wilson was on the play there for Cheyenne Central. And they were read and run all the way, swallowed him up, and now how about make it 3rd and 3?
So that was Kobe Kelly. I'm trying to see. They look like they had 2 18s out there.
I had 73, it looked like, on that play.
No, 19 carried the football.
Oh, at least for Natrona. But I'm just saying who made the tackle on there was T.J. Wilson, it looked like, for Cheyenne Central.
Carrying the football was Mason Wickham. So Wickham loses a yard. Back to pass goes Taubert, fires one, and caught, but he's short of the first down. Nice job that time defensively by Cheyenne Central. Making the grab was Cox for about 2 yards. It's 4th down and short.
Making the saving play there, that'd be one Jaden Cummings.
So Cummings coming through, making the tackle.
Jaden Cummings, the multi-sport athlete, as we last saw him, part of, again, Cheyenne Central basketball.
4th down. Back deep for Cheyenne Central. Awaiting the kick. Fair catch is called and caught by Lewis, Kenyon Lewis. So Cheyenne Central will have the football. Pretty good field position at their own 24-yard line. First down and 10. 7-0 our score. 7:55 on the Taco John scoreboard.
Again, field position really hasn't been an issue, at least what we saw on that first drive, being backed up about their 16-yard line, making that all the way down for the first score. Again, how about a big stop by the defensive unit there for Cheyenne Central, making a statement. Again, the Indians showing up and again, making big moves here in the Oil City.
Trips to the near side with both Storbos and Andrew Johnson. Split out on top is Talich. Cummins will hand it off to Lobatos. Lobatos goes off tackle and will drive forward. Probably give him 4 on the play. That was hard running there, and we saw that all season long last year from Carter Lobatos.
Carter Lobatos, who was just a hard-nosed football player, again, a big-time runner for Mike Apodaca. Again, that's his MO right there, is he loves going, he's driving right into that defense.
Neither team doing both of them are doing the no-huddle offense. Back to pass goes Cummins, plenty of time. Steps, throws, and fires just out of the reach of Andrew Johnson, and it'll be 3rd down. So the first incomplete for Cummins as a Cheyenne Central Indian. Indians in their red headdress helmets. I really like those helmets.
But all white, at least unis and pants all the way.
Central across the front of the jersey. Cummins will bring them up. 3rd down. And about 6. Cummins fumbles a snap, pitches it back to Lobatos, who one-hands it down the sideline to the 40. 45-yard line. And that's where he will be driven down. That should be a pickup of about 18.
Almost a double, at least accidental play there by Cheyenne Central. That could have turned in very ugly for the Indians, but
that wasn't written in the playbook.
No, not at all. But again, if you're Mike Apodaca, you'll take those accidents because they turned into a massive positive.
Brady and Brock Storbo and Johnson are lined up to the near side. Actually, they'll move Brady now as a flanker. Talich out on top. First down and 10, ball on the 46-yard line. In motion is Brady Storbo. Back to pass goes Cummins. He fires to Johnson. Johnson makes a grab. Nice spin move. Midfield, down the sidelines he goes. 40 to the 30. There he goes. 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Cheyenne Central. Holy cow. 54 yards on the catch and run.
Just like that, again, Andrew Johnson burning that entire Natrona County defense on that big-time catch and run. That just as simple as that, 13-0 lead for Cheyenne Central with 6:45 left here in the first quarter.
Tippett will be on to attempt the PAT. It will be out of the hold of Lewis at the 6:45 mark, 2 for 2 in possessions. Tippett's kick through the uprights and good. Central leads 14-0. Back after this 30-second timeout on 1480 KRAE. Larry Proietti along with Nick Proietti as we are back at Casper Natrona High School, Cheney Alumni Field. Well, one thing's for sure, Nick, that, during the social distancing here, they haven't even had a chance to get them warm.
Yeah.
As the Central Indians lead 14-0, a couple of touchdowns on a fly sweep from Andrew Johnson, and, of course, the 54-yard touchdown by Andrew Johnson from Andrew Cummings. So, wow. I mean, this is a high-powered offense.
This is not going to say shocking is the right word on this, at least for Cheyenne Central, but, again, it is very surprising to see this. Again, a hot start for the Indians. Again, 2 straight, at least, trips or at least 2 opportunities on the offense. Again, they've come away with touchdowns here.
Wilcox and Spencer back deep, and Tippett puts a big foot into that. That will go about 8 yards deep in the end zone. So the Mustangs, again, will load up the offense at their own 20-yard line. They got it from the 20 to their 41 and had to boot it away on a 4th down and 1. So They're trailing by 2 scores. But again, this Mustangs team is always dangerous. We've seen them down before, and then they come back against East. Remember, we were up here for that playoff game.
Yeah, again, you can't sleep on it. Granted, that was 2 years ago, and it's a different squad out there for the Mustangs. But, yeah, without a doubt, for Steve Harshman's crew, again, you cannot sleep on this team, even if they are behind a couple scores. Again, this team could be dangerous at any point in time.
So Taubert will bring him out on a 1st down and 10 situation. He's at his 20-yard line. High snap, it goes over his head. Taubert's going to have to pick it up and probably eat it as he does. He goes all the way back to the 5 on the high snap over his head. And then Taubert tried to dance his way out of trouble, and he's going to be dropped at the 5.
Here early on, though, in the first quarter for Natrona County, everything and anything that could go wrong for this team is happening here so far. Again, that almost could have been easy 6 points there for Cheyenne Central.
Wow, the Indians have come out, and they are loaded for bear today.
And the Indians right now showing to be the aggressors and right now showing that they're a team that's going to be for real here in 2020.
Luke Spencer is lined up to the right of Taubert. It is 2nd down and 25 from their 5. And he bumps into Spencer, and down he goes. Taubert will be dropped at the 2.
So just like that,
miscommunication between the sophomore and the senior.
As Natrona County finds themselves backing up further and further, right, knocking against their own goal line.
3rd down. And a long way to go.
They're down at about 25.
Well, they need to get to the 30. They're about 27, 28 yards away.
Yeah. I'm going to say 3rd and 28 from that distance. Either way, it's 3rd and forever for this Mustangs team that is struggling right now to get past this Central High defense.
Taubert is about 4 yards deep in his end zone as he awaits the snap. He will boot away a quick pooch kick. Nice spiral by Taubert, and it will check up. And the Indians are going to get great field position. How about at the 46-yard line of the Mustangs? So a nice punt by Taubert. Again, we've seen that in the pros, where you're deep in your own territory. Why waste a 3rd down play?
Yeah.
So, and again, the Indians were waiting for the pass. So a nice spiral by Taubert. He's not even the punter.
Well, and again, it was that decision right there by Coach Harshman and his crew of basically, do you risk adding more points to that deficit, at least allowing Central to go up by 16 with a possible safety? Or, again, also, 2, could you run in that scenario that you coughed up the football and Central just gets that easy 6? So, again, an interesting play, but a smart play by Natrona County there.
Taco John scoreboard, 5:30, check that, 5:13 to go here in quarter number 1. Brady Stobro in motion, hand off to Lobatos. Lobatos goes off tackle, down to the 36-yard line, 37 they'll give him, and that'll be a pickup of 9 for Carter, or they're going to give him the full 10. Let's see. No, they'll back it up 1, give him 9 on the rush.
It'll be about 2nd down in inches as they're going to look towards.
This is basically a free down for Coach Apodaca.
Yeah.
Johnson along with Brock Storbo to the near side, Brady and Talich out on top. Back to pass goes Cummings. He steps, he throws. He's got a man coming back for it. I do believe that was Talich making the grab. Talich makes the grab for a short gain to the 33-yard line.
But it's a short gain that at least equates to a 1st down for Cheyenne Central as they're now in Natrona County territory once again.
4 yards and more than enough for the 1st down. Ball on the 33-yard line. 1st down and 10 for the Ward Tribe. Cummings.
The hard count almost got Natrona County offsides, but they were able to at least sit back.
He backs off, looks over to Coach Apodaca. Now we'll hand off to Lobatos. Lobatos feels his way straight ahead, still on his feet, and he's down to the 27-yard line, 6 yards for Carter Lobatos.
If this is your first time seeing Carter Lobatos at least play running back for Cheyenne Central, he reminds you a lot. And again, we'll go back old school, and especially on the 49ers side, back in the day, Frank Gore, who again just attacks, goes deep into those defenses, and again just finds a way to drive through all of that defender.
He ran right behind the big cat there, Jeremy Koenig. In motion comes Johnson. Back to pass goes Cummings. Cummings has time. He wants it all. Going deep into the end zone and will overshoot Talich. It will be 3rd down for Cheyenne Central on the missed aerial.
3rd and 5 for the Indians.
Taco John scoreboard, 3:41 to go here. Quarter number 1 at Cheney Alumni Field. And it is 14-0 in favor of the Indians, who are, again, in Mustang territory.
Indians at this point 2 for 2 on offensive possessions, looking to go 3 for 3 here.
Brady Storbo along with Johnson to the near side. Back to pass goes Cummings. Plenty of time. Throws one over the middle. He's got Brock Storbo. He'll make the grab. He drives forward inside the 20, but there's a late flag that came down.
It's a flag in the backfield, and it looks like it might go against Cheyenne Central.
It might be holding, and that is the indication. So that will bring the ball back after a nice, and it'll wipe out the catch by Brock Storbo.
Yeah, eliminate the at least positive first down for the Central High Indians. Now backing them back up.
And it looks like it'll march him back to the 42. The flag was thrown at the 32-yard line, so they'll mark it from the infraction.
It'll place it at 43.
You give him an extra yard. They're going to say the flag blew an extra yard. So the ball now resting on the 43-yard line. Central faced with a long third down. Needing to get to the 23-yard line, so they're about a third down and 20. With this high-powered offense, and again with the stable receivers.
Here's where you look, where again Andrew Johnson right now, at least it's going to be a timeout call that looks like for Cheyenne Central.
Indians call a timeout, 3:13 to go in the period on the Taco John scoreboard. Cheyenne Central 14, Natrona nothing back after this 30-second timeout on 1480 KRAE. Welcome back to Cheney Alumni Field as we are breaking in a new engineer back at the house. And again, as long as we're on the air, that's all I
It's
care.
week 0, yeah, without a doubt. So again, at least we're 1480 AM, 101.1 FM, 1480KRAE.com is where you can hear the contest. Video live streaming as we are currently on Periscope via Twitter at Nick Wiles Sports and the 1480 KRAE YouTube channel. Again, every single option, all 5 of them, completely free to you through, again, week 0 all the way on to even the playoffs as well too, even though we won't be able to video stream in the playoffs, but
we're gonna get through this season. And
absolutely.
Again, everybody doing the social distancing thing here. You see some masks being worn, some not. And again, over on the grandstand side of Cheyenne Central, well, they're over there too enjoying today's football game. All right, for the Indians, it's 3rd down and 20. They'll send Johnson to the near side. Talich along with Brady Storbo on top. Moving into the tight end position is Brock Storbo, as they'll add a little beef on the line. In motion goes Brady Storbo. Back to pass goes Cummings. Plenty of time. Over the middle, in and out of heads, picked off. 30-yard line, 40-yard line to the 50, and driven out at around the 47 of Cheyenne Central. The pass was high off the fingertips of Brady Storbo and picked off by Caden Wilcox. So the Mustang fans got something to cheer about as they will have the football Cheyenne Central territory at the 46-yard line.
The first mistake by Cheyenne Central. Again, you talk about off the fingertips of one, Brady Storbo. Again, he stands about 6'6", 6'7", so again, that ball was well in the air above his head.
Yeah, that one you don't fault Storbo on. Cummings lofted that one a little too high.
And again, looking at you had a little bit of pressure in the backfield. So just like that, again, your first interception of the season right there goes for Natrona County.
Split outside is Kobe Kelly. Wickham in the backfield. He'll line up to the left of Taubert. Taubert at the 46-yard line. They'll keep it himself. Calls his own number. Tried to get outside. He's wrapped up initially at the 45. Falls forward to the 43. Looked like for Cheyenne Central, that might have been Kostelecki. Got a paw on him.
Yeah, I think Kostelecki did get the at least saving tackle there on that play.
So give Taubert 3 yards on the play. Second down and 7.
As in Natrona County right now, again, for the first time in this contest in Central High territory.
Ball on the 43-yard line. As Taubert out of the gun. Back to pass. Wants it all going down the sideline. Incomplete. Overthrowing his receiver. That was Robert Douglas. And Taubert will misfire on the connection.
And if that pass was just a few feet in front of Douglas right there, he had nothing but green turf in that orange, at least end zone. And again, that would have been an easy 6 there for the Mustangs. But instead, you're now looking at 3rd and 7 for Natrona County.
Yeah, Douglas had a step. 3rd down and 7. He'll remain in the ball game as he now will split out on top along with Kelly. Wickham in the backfield with Taubert. 3rd down and 7. Long count by Taubert. And he's back to pass. Straight drop back. Steps up, throws, and it's picked off. Who picked it off? That's Nathaniel Talich. He picked it off at the 36-yard line of Cheyenne Central. So back-to-back INTs on ensuing offensive possessions.
Yeah. So again, as Central said here, you take that football from us. Central, or at least Natrona County, gives it right back to the Central I Indians. So,
boy, and that takes the air out of the. This is the crowd here. You definitely got to take the air out of them. They are raucous out here.
Yeah, again, you can tell here in Casper right now, crowd has been deflated of what they're seeing so far. Kind of a bit stunned of what they're seeing here in the first quarter.
You know, even though it's a social distancing, you still have a good-sized crowd out here. 1st down and 10. Labatos wrapped up immediately. One of the few times he will lose yards on the play. That immediately came through and blocked that play. I mean, it was botched from the beginning.
Yeah, it looked like there Natrona County just going for the all-out blitz, and it worked. And just like
6-yard loss.
Yeah. So make it 2nd and 16 now for the Central I Indians with 1:57 remaining here in the first quarter.
Boy, that play got blown up right out of the get-go. So for the Indians, 2nd down and 16. Ball right now resting at the 30-yard line, about $1:40 to go here in quarter number 1 on the Taco John scoreboard. 14-0 in favor of the Indians. Storbo will join his brother, Brock. Brady, as well as Talich, back to pass. Inside, they get it to Brock Storbo. Gets back almost the lost yardage, picks up 5 on the play. On the pass play, so it'll be 3rd down and long.
Yeah, 3rd down and 11 with time ticking down as we're about 1:15 remaining here in the first quarter. Central finds themselves again in that same predicament where, again, the last NIT happened, and 3rd and distance.
Cummings out of the gun. Labatos behind him. Now they'll check off the play. Trips out on top. Johnson, the lone wide out to the near side. Back to pass goes Cummings. He steps, he throws. He's got Johnson. Johnson makes the grab at the 47-yard line. I think he's got the first down. Yes, he does. They're going to say he's out at the 48-yard line, 12 yards on the pass play.
And pushed out of bounds. So, yes, again, it is the first down for Cheyenne Central.
So for Johnson, that is his 3rd reception here in the first quarter. 1st down and 10. Johnson again, a little split to the near side. Brady Storbo and Nathaniel Talich on top. And back to pass goes Cummings. He'll find Brock Storbo out of his tight end position, a little fire up, and Storbo is dropped at the 42-yard line of the Mustangs. That is probably enough for the first down, a little 10-yarder.
They're going to mark it just short of that 42-yard line, so again, it's going to be 2nd and inches for the Indians.
Oh, I hate to give Brock 9 on that catch, but we're going to have to do it.
Yeah. Again, they're going to say he was just short of that first down, as right now time's ticking down, 15 seconds remaining.
Well, the Indians will send Johnson in motion. From the near side to the far side, they'll swing it out to Johnson, in and out of his hands, incomplete. So that'll stop the clock with about 4.8 seconds left.
Even though they elapse about 5 seconds off the clock there, but we'll still go with it. 4.8 seconds remaining here in the first quarter.
Cummings has thrown the football already 11 times here in the quarter. 14-0 our score.
And I think we saw that a few times out of Mike Apodaca's playbook with the one Dawson McCleary at the helm.
3rd down and short for the Indians. Cummings, Labato straight ahead. 1st down and more. Breaks forward as he will be down at the 31-yard line as time expires. And the Indians lead 14-0 after quarter number 1 once they get the clock started.
With about at least 1 second in, there it is.
After 1, Central 14, Natrona 0. We're back after the 60-second timeout on 1480 KRAE. Welcome back to Cheney Alumni Field. Larry Proietti, Nick Proietti. I saw you pop the scoreboard up there. What do you got here?
I'm not ready for it, so give me some time as I'm getting a few scores in from Class 4A. Again, as we got a lot of games underway, some that happened at 6 o'clock and some that were just getting underway same time as ours. So we'll probably get that around halftime when I'm ready for it.
Well, I just saw the one score that you had there, third period from Sheridan, where the Broncs are leading 28-3 over Laramie. But we'll get an update here later on. That was the last score we had. So for the Indians, they are again in, this is what, the fourth time now that they've been in Natrona territory?
Yeah.
So for the Indians, as we open up quarter number 2, they'll have a first down at 10 with the ball resting. They'll say just shy of the 30. They're going to say the 31. So it will be Cummings. And also in the backfield now is Jaden Cummings. So you got Jaden Cummings in the backfield as Lobatos is out. Boot to the left side. And nice catch by Brady Storbo down to the 21-yard line. So a nice little boot there that time by Cummings, as it will be, that should be a first down.
As a scoreboard operator here at Natrona County, forgot to at least start the timer here. As it still reads as 12 minutes.
They're going to say 9 on the catch to Brady Storbo.
Second and short once again for Cheyenne Central, as again they're just outside again that red zone. As again refs will now address the fact that clock has not been moving here.
Well, they're going to have to wind down the clock. There we go, and that's what they're doing now. They're winding it down.
So I think I have about the right time, but right now
they're going to stop it at 11:50.
All right, then.
So what they're going to say was that Storbo was driven out of bounds, 10 seconds on that play. So Jaden Cummings in the backfield behind Andrew Cummins. Back to pass goes Cummins. Steps, throws, looking for the big guy. And Brady Storbo could not come down with it. He was fighting in the end zone. He was fighting with one of the smaller guys. The defensively, that looked like that was Nolan Valdez battling with Storbo, and the pass is incomplete.
He had the vision. He had the height on it. Again, he just could not come away with that football again. Everything was written where that should have been another at least touchdown for Cheyenne Central. But
you had it down to waste.
Yeah.
Well, actually, now we go back. They did give Storbo 10 on the catch. So it'll be second down and 10 for Cheyenne Central. Boy, everything was kind of screwy there in the opening part of the second quarter. Clock didn't go. They had him down for 8 yards.
Again, it is week 0 for everyone.
Cummins gets the low snap, hands it off to Jaden Cummins. And check out Lobatos is back in. Lobatos will be dropped for no gain, maybe a loss. We'll see. It'll be third down for Cheyenne Central. They'll say Lobatos lost 1. Third down and 11. Again, they're in Tegan Tippett's range. If Tippett's was called upon, it'd be about 40 yards. And there's nothing saying they won't go for it on fourth down either.
And we see Micah Apodaca be very aggressive many a time.
Cummins rolls to his right, steps, throws, and it's picked off again. To the 25-yard line, it is returned, and picking it off will be Avery Cox. So Cox picks it off. He was basically just spying on Cummins, and Cummins will throw it right into his waiting arms. He'll take it back to the 26-yard line.
As again, Cummins rolling out to his right. Again, feeling some pressure as he's pushed outside the pocket there, just kind of tossed up a floater there. And as you mentioned, he was just, at least Cox just sitting there waiting that at least throw. And again, a simple INT. So make that 2 interceptions against Cheyenne Central.
So for the Mustangs, it'll be first down and 10. Mason Wickham to the right of Taubert. Ball on their own 26-yard line. High snap. And Taubert calls his own number. 30-yard line. Bounce off one tackle. Still on his feet to the 35, 36. Give him a gain of 10 on a nice run there as he bounced off 2 would-be tacklers. First down and 10 for the Mustangs.
As Natrona County again trying to establish a run game against Cheyenne Central, and there, at least right there, it worked.
I'm going to give Taubert 11 as they spot it at the 37.
Central early in this contest on the first quarter, 2 for 2 on offensive possessions. They still have the 14-0 lead, but right now Central has been finding ways to shoot themselves in the foot here.
Wickham will be to the right of Taubert. Taubert out of the gun. High snap, call, and he gives off to Wickham. Wickham goes off tackle, slithers his way to the 40-yard line. Give him 3 on the play. Second down and 7. Taco John scoreboard showing Central leading 14-0. 9:50 mark here in quarter number 2.
And once we get into a Class 4A scoreboard, you're going to be very surprised on some of the games, especially the unfortunate news of across town of what's happening in Casper. Kelly Walsh with Cheyenne South.
Douglas is split out on top. Taubert again out of the gun. Wickham to his right. High snap, back to pass. Pressure quickly on Taubert. He'll just tuck it and go, and dropped at the 42, maybe the 43. I think they'll give him the 43, so 3 on the gain. That one broke down in a hurry, and Taubert just pulled it down to run. So it'll be third down, needing to get to the 47-yard line. They're on the 43.
A smart play there, but Taubert realizing that things were breaking down in the backfield and it's seeing that pressure and turning that negative into a positive. So just like that, third down and 5 for the Natrona County Mustangs.
Avery Cox will come in. Hoppins will come on out. Third down is short. Wickham now will move from right to left. Taubert with a long count. And we'll fake the handoff to Wickham. Back to pass. Taubert, nowhere to go. Fires, incomplete. Picked up by Johnson. It was tipped. And Johnson falls on it at the 41-yard line. You want to talk about a tip drill that worked. Holy cow. I think Cummings got a paw on it and tipped it into the hands of Johnson. So the INT, and again, we saw INT.
Basically, neither team wants the football right now, as yes, we've had 4 straight interception plays here in this contest so far.
Nice job by Jaden Cummings as he knocked it away, and we're thinking, hey, the pass is incomplete. Johnson came out of nowhere and fell on it at the 41-yard line. First down and 10 as he caught it in the air.
Again, as we repeat ourselves, it is week 0 here in Class 4A, so the first contest, again, also too, might be the first athletic contest in quite some time for some of these athletes for both Central and Natrona County.
Storbo twins along with Talich to the near side. And Cummings fumbles it. It's on the turf, and he'll have to fall on it. So Andrew Cummings on the last couple of possessions having a little trouble with Cheyenne Central's offense.
Yeah, things starting to unfold for both teams, especially for Cheyenne Central. But thankfully, again, Cummings was able to fall on that ball. But again, they will be backed up about, say, loss about 4 on that one.
That's Cummings, not Cummings.
Yeah, not Cummings.
Andrew Cummings and Jaden Cummings. Second down to 14. Back to pass goes Cummings. He throws, and that's picked off. So back-to-back picks by Cummings. And the Mustangs will get the ball in great field position at the Central. Looks like the Central 47-yard line. I'm trying to think who made the play. I think on the steal was Valdez.
I do believe you're correct on that one. So 5 straight interception plays here, where again Central looking like they were going to be at least run away with things early on with going back-to-back offensive scoring production, getting 2 at least straight touchdowns. Right now, neither team really wants to do anything.
But like you said too, the butterfly's got to be flowing a big time for one Andrew Cummings again with this high-powered offense. And that one he kind of rushed it. He had plenty of time and kind of rushed the pass. First down and 10. Taubert will call his own number, trying to get outside midfield down to the 49-yard line of the Indians. So a pickup on the play of about 3 yards.
As again, the scoreboard here did not at least start the timer, so we're still stuck at 7:59.
Ball resting on the Indians' 44-yard line. It'll be second down and 7. Taubert again operates out of the gun. Wickham to his right. Back to pass. Goes Taubert. Plenty of time. Rolls, throws, got a man. That's Cox. Cox makes the grab and is driven down at the 36 after an 11-yard pass play.
So first down as Natrona County is driving deep into Central High territory, looking for their first points on the board here in this contest.
So Cox with his second reception for the Mustangs. The senior catching that pass from Taubert. First down as Taubert will call his own number straight ahead. 30-yard line, 25-20, and a pickup of 15 for Taubert.
So now the Mustangs find a little momentum here in the second quarter, making a drive of this as they're now in the at least Central High red zone for the first time here in this game.
Well, you know, they've been living kind of on the danger zone here. And
both teams have at this point in time. Again, Central has 3 INTs at this point, Natrona County 2.
First down, ball spotted on the 20-yard line. Taubert out of the gun. He'll hand it off to his H-back and driving to the 17-yard line. And that looked like that was Braxton Bundy making the run.
Practically getting nowhere on that play, but they'll say that he at least got a gain of about 4 yards.
If they give him the 16, no, they gave him the 16, second effort, 4 yards on the run. 6:35 left to go here in the first half. Hash mark to the far side. Bundy again in the backfield. He will line up to the right. Taubert, long count. And back to pass. Steps, wants it all, going deep into the end zone. Incomplete as he was trying to hook up with Cox, and it'll be third down.
So third down and 6 for Natrona County again as they're deep in the red zone here.
And they have a strong kicker too in Hoppins. Hoppins got a great leg. So, again, if they need to call on Hoppins, their tight end, they'd be more than happy to do so.
And it looks like the wind's blowing at least our direction, going kind of a northerly at least.
It's about how it blows out here, northerly direction. Kind of a haze when we drove into Casper. Again, that smoke haze that we've had down in Cheyenne. Pretty much similar here, but pretty much a blue sky. Beautiful night here in the Oil City. Third down and 6. Taubert back to pass. He steps, he throws, going to the end zone, and it's knocked away. Knocked away right at the last second. Great job there, Cheyenne Central, Jared Dilly. Dilly coming from his quarterback position to knock it down, trying to hook up with, I want to say that was Preston Prop they tried to hook up with. No, check that. That would have been Kobe. Is that Corby Kelly? Kobe Kelly, they couldn't hook up with him.
Well, either way, though, it makes it fourth down at 6 where the kicking crew is out for, at least for Casper Natrona, as they're looking to put up 3 points on the board.
Caden Wilcox is your holder. Hoppins is your kicker. The ball will be spotted around the 23-yard line. Low snap, and it's partially blocked. And I don't know if the snap kind of impinged on Hoppins, but he just drilled it straight down into the ground.
So Natrona
and a hand by Cheyenne Central too.
Yeah, but either way though, for Natrona County again, as that was probably their best shot to put points on the board here throughout this entire contest as of right now, with 6:13 remaining before halftime. Again, still showing a goose egg up there for the Mustangs, which is kind of surprising.
So the 33-yard field goal attempt goes awry for the Mustangs, and Central gets the football on their own 20.
So it breaks that spell, though, however, in this game of 5 straight INT plays between both teams. Again, Central, hopefully, again, for one Cummings, looking to at least get that, at least bugaboo, again, the monkey off his shoulder, so to speak, to get away from, again, what has happened on 3 straight possessions.
Missed play. Labatos was leaning forward. I think he's going to be whistled for the infraction on the snap count. And it was a loss of 1, so this will be up to the Mustangs. Do they want to decline it or take the loss? Cummings had to eat it. Labatos was leaning forward, and Cummings kind of delayed on his snap count.
Right now we have a congregation of the officials out there trying to discuss what's going on.
Procedure call.
That'll be against the Central High Indians.
And they will decline it, so Labatos, Cummings will lose a yard. Cummings, that is. So second down and 11 for the Indians. 5:55 to go on the Taco John scoreboard. Talich will come to the near side. Out on top is Johnson, along with Brady Storbo. Brock Storbo in tight. at the tight end position. Hand off to Lobatos. He goes nowhere.
He got swallowed up by black shirts out there by the Mustangs.
He got gobbled up right away. No gain on the play. 3rd down and 11 for Central.
Unfortunately, no push by that offensive line there for Cheyenne Central. So right now it's 2nd down and about at least 12. Actually, make it 2nd and 11.
Need to get to the 30-yard line. Ball resting on the 19. Again, Talich lines up to the near side.
Excuse me, actually make that 3rd and 11 for Cheyenne Central.
Lobatos a couple yards behind Cummings and hold everything. Got a whistle and a timeout called by the Indians. 5:09 left to go in the first half. Cheyenne Central 14, Natrona nothing. Back after this 30-second timeout on 1480 KRAE. We're back at Cheney Alumni Field. Larry Proietti along with Nick Proietti and the Central Indians leading 14-0. Came out just on fire first 2 possessions.
Yeah.
Still were moving the football in possessions 3 and 4 and then coughed it up. Got a great INT thanks to Jaden Cummings tipping it into the hands of Andrew Johnson. And then 3 straight interceptions, and the Indians right now have bogged down.
Even with 3 straight INTs by Cummings at this point for Cheyenne Central, again, the fortunate thing right now for Central High, for Mike Apodaca, for Indians fans right now, again, your team leads 14-0, where Natrona County as well is struggling here in this contest. And again, we just saw their best opportunity to put points on the board, again, was a block kick by the Central High Indians. So right now, again, you lead by 2 touchdowns. And again, Natrona County has surprising on their home field, even in week 0, still have not put up a single point on that board.
Mike Apodaca calling his 2nd time out of the half as he will bring out the offense. 3rd down, long. Andrew Cummins will send in motion Johnson from the far side of the near side. Back to pass goes Cummins. He wants it long for Storbo. Storbo, in and out of his hands. He had it, and the Natrona Mustangs coaching staff wants a push-off. Storbo almost came down with it at the 43-yard line. He was bobbling it, then it hit off the thigh pad.
Storbo as well. Again, he has the height advantage out there against majority of these players. Again, both Storbo twins as he stands 6'6", 6'7". Again, he also too had a crowd around him as he was going for that football. Again, 3 black shirts just right there to defend him.
And for Storbo, both of them, and more with Brady. Brady's got some good speed for a big guy.
Again, he's a hustler. We've seen on the basketball court for Tag Lane squad.
Johnson will boot it away as he stands back around his 5-yard line. Back deep is Caden Wilcox. Johnson hits one that it will take a central bounce. A late flag comes in away from the play, and I think it's going to be whistled against the Mustangs. The ball is down at the 38-yard line. I do believe that flag might come against Avery Cox.
As we'll have 2 refs come at least around center circle to discuss what the call exactly was. Now, but I think the indication will be against the Natrona County Mustangs.
As I mentioned, that haze in there, do you smell a little bit of that smoke?
No.
I saw a little smoke.
You also too have a different nose than I do.
Yeah, I've got the rebuilt nose. So as they discuss it, and again, this would be on the punt. This won't be giving Central 10 yards.
No, that won't be, again, Central high position for a first down. No, it's going to be Natrona County, but where are they going to be at least on this football field?
It's during the play, and I think if you tack on the penalty, it would be after, and they're going to wave it off.
They're going to wave off the flag. So, again, it's going to stay in Natrona County, and they will stay there around the 37-yard line.
So for the Mustangs, it'll be first down and 10. Good field position.
It is week 0 for everyone, including the officials out there.
Braxton Bundy will be in the backfield. He's to the left of Toppert, Harrison Toppert, the senior. First down and 10. Taubert, long count. High snap, will give it off to Bundy. Bundy breaks through with a big gainer to the 45-yard line. He went straight at the gut. And he went over some big hosses as well.
Yeah, found an opening in between that beef that is the defensive line for Cheyenne Central. Some positive yards there. Make it 2nd down and 3rd for Natrona County.
2nd down and 3, 7 yards on the run for Bundy.
As time ticks down right now, 4:30 remaining.
Taubert fakes the handoff, flares one out. 1st down yardage and more, still on his feet, down to the Central 44-yard line. Making that grab for the Mustangs. Looked at was Mylan Allison. So Allison, another receiver. That'll be 1st down.
That'll put Natrona County back into Central High, at least territory.
12 yards on that pass play. 1st down and 10, ball on the 45-yard line of Central. Taubert back to pass, rolls to his right, steps, throws, got a man wide open to the 15, 10, inside the 10, down to the 8-yard line. And making that grab, I do believe that was Kelly.
And on the plane was Jaden Cummings making that saving tackle, but it looks like he's injured, at least right now, on the turf.
Yeah, Jaden Cummings is down right now. He's got his right leg stretched out and his knee bent.
But he made a big, at least saving grace tackle right there at the end, and that would have been an easy 6 for Natrona County, but unfortunately he's right now down on the turf.
So the ball was on the 45-yard line, goes down. It might be just a cramp. I think that's what happened. And that's all we can hope for, that it's just a cramp. Ball right now is on the 8-yard line.
As teams will clear off the field.
37 yards on that pass play from Taubert to Kelly.
As right now, Natrona County threatening to put points on the board and make it a one-possession game here. We saw this the previous possession for Natrona County, but they came away with nothing.
See, you never want to let, once you get these guys down, you got to put put the cleat right on the throat.
Yeah. Thankfully, Jaden Cummings will get up with his own power.
So just a cramp in the calf, and they, I'll tell you what, if you ever had those kind of cramps, I'll tell you what, they are painful. So it's good to see Cummings walk off on his own power. That's Jaden Cummings. He transferred from South.
Get him over to the sideline, get some Gatorade in him, get some of those electrolytes. He'll be good to go.
It'll be 1st down and goal for the Mustangs when we come back to live action, as both teams will come back onto the field.
But as you mentioned with Jaden Cummings, again, the Cheyenne South transfer, as we saw during the basketball season, playing for Tag Lane squad. Again, now with at least football team with Mike Apodaca, where last season we saw him make some big plays with Dan Gallus in the Cheyenne South Fighting Bison.
You're listening to high school football on 1480 KRAE Cheyenne, 101.1 FM, streaming worldwide on the web at 1480KRAE.com, Periscope via Twitter live stream, and on YouTube live streaming as well. 1st down and 10. Taubert bobbles the snap, and he'll be eaten up and dropped. I think that was Dilly.
That was Dilly making the big-time play and at least drop for a loss there.
So Taubert is dropped back on his wallet. Bobble the snap, looks like a loss of 4. And it will be 2nd down goal from the 12.
As time again continues to tick down here before halftime.
And Natrona has all 3 of their timeouts remaining. Second down and goal. Taubert has Bundy to his left. And this time they'll get it outside to Douglas. Douglas loses the football. It's loose on the turf. Central has it. Did Central come away with it?
I think so. As indication, they're pointing towards it is Central High football, and yes, it will be.
It's either Kostelecki who picked up the football or T.J. Wilson. Either one.
Another opportunity for Natrona County to score and put points on the board. Again, found a way to cough it up, and just like that, Central now has another opportunity to extend out the 14-point lead.
Well, Douglas never really had the handle of the football and then lost it around the 22. Central will get the ball back.
It looked like he did for a couple steps, and then it just bobbled out, and just like that, a fumble, and now offensive possession once again for Central High.
And nobody touched Douglas.
Yeah.
That one bobbled on his own.
It was on him.
Brock Storbo in the backfield along with Lobatos. In motion comes Brady. Far side to the near side. Hand off to Labados. Labados is bumped up. Gets away from one tackle. Still on his feet. And he will drive forward to the 25. Those were tough 2 yards right there for Labados.
As you mentioned with Natrona County, they have all 3 of their timeouts left. Central High only has 1 timeout remaining.
With about 2:45 on the Taco John scoreboard. Cummins out of the gun, back to pass. Rolling to his left. Still rolling. He'll tuck it away. Gets a block from Talich. And that will force Cummins to head to the sidelines. Nice block by Talich, freeing up Cummins to the 33-yard line.
But that will also to stop the clock there for the Central High Indians.
Nice 8-yard run that time by Cummins.
And it will be first down for Central High Indians.
1st and 10.
As they right now sit at the Natrona County, it looks like 33.
Trips to the near side. The Storbo twins and Talich. Low snap, and this time Cummins will have to eat it.
Yeah,
Cummins, the low snap, he dropped it and then was looking around, and it broke down in a hurry, so he'll lose 4 on the play.
And you wonder if it is those kind of first game jitters right now for Cummins that are kind of getting to him right now.
Most definitely. So for the Indians, 2nd down and 14. Ball on the 29-yard line, needing to get to the Natrona 43. Back to pass goes Cummins. Steps up, and he's on the run again. 30, 35-yard line, so he'll get back the lost yardage plus 2. So give him 6 on the play. I'm sure Coach Apodaca doesn't really want to see his quarterback running.
No. I think that's the last thing he wants to see right now.
3rd down and 8 for the Tribe.
With 1:30 remaining here before half.
First half, Central leading.
You wonder if right now Mike Apodaca and his crew just trying to milk some time off the clock.
Cummins, back to pass. He steps, he throws, and all over the back is Brady Storbo, and a late flag comes in as Storbo makes the grab at 39. Let's see if there's interference or some extracurricular activities.
As refs will congregate and discuss that.
Well short of the first down and just a little 4-yard pass play. So what do we have here? If anything, it would be pass interference because he was on the back of Storbo, or it will be a personal foul against Central.
Actually, they're going to wave off that flag.
So the second flag that's been waved off. So it'll be 4th down for Cheyenne Central. 4-yard pass caught by Brady Storbo. And it'll be 4th down. Now, a timeout called by Natrona with 1:07 to go. Johnson probably will boot it away when we come back. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout right here on 1480 KRAE. Winds, Nick, still blowing northerly right now, so not really going to affect much. On occasion, it looks like the flags are blowing northeast, which would help Johnson. But, and again, here, 10 to 15 miles an hour, nice breeze.
If anything, if you want to hit that coffin corner kick or at least try to get it down within the red zone there, again, there is that opportunity. But looks like that for Cheyenne Central will be punting this thing away. And Natrona County will have one more, at least, offensive possession with 1:07 remaining with 2 timeouts still left here before halftime. And as Natrona County still trying to find the first points here of this contest.
Avery Cox and Caden Wilcox will drop back deep in anticipation of the Johnson punt. And there's a possibility that Johnson could pull it down and run with it, too. You never know.
There's a possibility that Cheyenne Central just could pull off the fake punt as well, too. They could just go for it if they wanted to.
Well, right now they are bringing the offense out on 4th down.
Which, again, as I alluded to, is not a surprise.
Cummings rolls to his right. He steps, he throws, he's got a man. First down, Johnson at the 45-yard line. So Johnson gets 6 on the pass play, and the Indians will have it first down and 10 as time is ticking away here in the first half.
A play that was meant to go to the at least sidelines there. Smart play there by Johnson to at least step out of bounds too.
Cummins again bobbles the snap, picks it up. Now will be dropped for about a 2-yard loss. That is about the 4th time now we've seen Cummins drop the football.
I almost wonder if he's taking his eye off at least that football when it's getting hiked to him. He's looking at where his playmakers are.
45 seconds left, and Cummins now will slam it into the ground, and it'll be 3rd down.
With 39.8 seconds remaining before halftime. It looks like Mike Apodaca, as you're talking about, put that cleat on their throats. Seems like he's trying to be that aggressor where let's get a little bit more points on, extend out this lead to separate ourselves from this Natrona team that could easily come out of halftime and start firing on all cylinders.
Again, too, you're trying to keep the momentum out of their hands right now. You don't want them to have the football before halftime.
Yeah.
So it'll be 3rd down and long for the Indians, 3rd and 12. Talich in motion from the near side, out on top. Cummings back to pass. Has time. He steps, he throws. He's got, is that Brady Storbo near midfield at the 49-yard line. Nice grab by Brady Storbo as he will get 7 on the catch. It'll be 4th down.
As the clock will at least wind down, 25 seconds remaining.
4th down for the Indians.
The Indians will go for it.
They're going for it. Pass caught by Johnson. And out of bounds at the 44-yard line.
And it will be good enough for that first down.
So for the Indians, they will get another set of downs. And
right now, again, the Indians have no timeouts remaining.
16 seconds left. They have one timeout left, Nick. Back to pass goes Cummings. Looks over the middle, and it's tipped incomplete. He was trying to hook up for Talich right in the middle of the field. And it'll stop the clock with 6.9 seconds to go.
Which unfortunately, that play did not take as long as the time elapsed. Seems like the scoreboard operator here kind of being a little, at least lackadaisical with that time.
I have Cummins that has thrown the football 20 times here in the first half.
6.9 seconds remaining before halftime. You wonder if this is just a heave-ho play. Go to your big man, get both the Storbo twins out there, and just see if they can use a little bit of the jump advantage.
Or you could do the hook and lateral.
Yeah.
Or you want to do an out to get Tippett on.
But again, it looks like you have both Storbos out there.
Right now, if Tippett would come onto the field, it'd be 61 yards. Hold everything, and then late whistle, and Natrona's going to call a timeout. 6.9 seconds left to go here in the first half. Central 14, Natrona nothing. We'll keep it here as we get ready for halftime. Again, the Indians' first 2 possessions, and again, the first possession took all but a minute 15 seconds.
Well, let's take this opportunity right now to get into some scores as of right now. Updating in Class 4A, 2 games at half. We'll go across town with Kelly Walsh leading Cheyenne South 47-7. So right now, again, a rough start for Cheyenne South and Dan Gallis' squad. In the third quarter in Sheridan, the Sheridan Bronx lead the Laramie Plainsmen 35-3. At half in Campbell County, the Rock Springs Tigers lead 21-0. And a battle up in Gillette at least at Thunder Basin. The Bolts and the Cheyenne East Thunderbirds tied up 14-14. That's also 2 in the third quarter.
So we got 3 routes. We got a great one going on at Thunder Basin. We've got a hard knock football game right here with Central leading 14-0. I told you to watch out for that Tiger team this year.
Well, again, we'll see about it. Again, they're going against that Campbell County team that I thought was going to be that dark horse, but again, they're kind of proving me wrong. But we'll see how they do against a Central, a Cheyenne East, some of these upper tier, at least teams above them right now in the preseason polls. But the other surprising thing is the route across town with Casper, Kelly Walsh, and Cheyenne South. Expected a little bit more competitive game there by the Bison.
So Indy's going to need a quick out, probably about a 5-10-yard out. Lobato's in motion, empty backfield. Cummins back to pass. Steps up, wants it all, going deep into the end zone, and knocked away at the last second. Oh, my. What a great defensive play. And that was by Nolan Valdez as he knocked it away. They were trying to hook up with Storbo, and incomplete. Storbo was hoping for the pass interference, but with that being said, both teams will head to their respective locker rooms as time runs out. Cummings laid it right on the 87 of Storbo. Yeah. Valdez came out of nowhere to knock it away. So, an entertaining first half if you're a Cheyenne Central Indians fan, leading 14-0 at the intermission. For the Indians, though, I guess the disappointment will be in that locker room of the 3 INTs back to back to back, 2 of them inside Natrona territory.
Again, the only positive locker room right now, at least for both teams, is going to be Cheyenne Central, just to a point, as you mentioned. Again, the 3 INTs, again, blown opportunities for the Central Indians, but again, you do have the 14-0 lead on the road against a very talented Natrona County team. So again, that is the positive for Mike Apodaca's crew, where again, you came to enemy territory, and right now you have a lead in again, a tough place to come and play and win. So that is the positive right now for Mike Apodaca and his Cheyenne Central Indians, that right now, with everything that has happened on this field for the 2 quarters, and at least you have at least a multi-score, at least a lead.
Well, let's real quick, we'll recap the scoring before we take a timeout and try to add up some of these stats. And wow, be nice if Nick knew how to do stats. But
I'm busy doing live stream stuff.
You use that excuse every time.
I like to see you try and do this.
I like to see you try to do this all at once.
I could probably do it better than you.
There you go. You're on it.
I'm not
Second
doing it.
half, you're on the stats. Central scored early as they took the opening kickoff and marched it down, and it was capped off by a 9-yard run. A little, flanker screen. I don't want to say. How do you call that when they're, he came out of his end position and got a great block from
it's not
Lobatos.
A sweep play, but
a fly sweep.
Yeah,
he got the fly sweep and took it in for the touchdown. So 7-0 Central after the Tippett's PAT. Central got it back after holding Natrona, and it was 6:45 to go in the first quarter. It was a Johnson 54-yard touchdown catch and run from Cummins. Tippett's putting up the PAT, Central leading 14-0, and that's where the battle pretty much came to a halt.
Yeah.
As far as the offensive side for Central, they've kind of shot themselves in the foot here about the last 3 possessions. Well, this possession here, they just ran out of time. But, again, they played good defense. They've made some good stops. Natrona had their best shot at a field goal from Hoppins, but it was a low snap.
It was a low snap and blocked by Cheyenne Central as well, too. So, again, Natrona County in this contest, they've had 2 opportunities to put points on the board. The last one coming at least with that fumble where, again, that was against Douglas, where it was his own doing that basically just couldn't get a grip on that football. But Natrona County's had 2 chances so far to tie this contest up. They've gotten into that red zone as much as it was difficult. And, again, it came late here in this second quarter. But Natrona County, and same with Cheyenne Central to a T, these teams have been their own worst enemy here. And, again, albeit it is week 0, you're fine-tuning, you're figuring out the tweaks. And, again, for a lot of these athletes who may not have competed in Legion baseball this summertime, and again, with spring sports being canceled, where it's been quite a long time since they probably had competitive action, and butterflies might be doing it, little nerves getting out of the way, but you wonder coming out of halftime how these teams are going to respond, especially in Natrona County, who's a team that is showing that fight, showing that heart, showing that they're getting close to figuring out that last puzzle piece to put points on this board.
Well, they had their backs up against the wall, and they fought back. They fought back, especially with that secondary being opportunistic as they picked off Cummings 3 times. At halftime, Cheyenne Central leads 14-0. We'll be back after a 2-minute timeout here on 1480 KRAE.
Versatility and value come standard with the new 2021 Kia Seltos. AJ Miller here for Kia of Cheyenne, and this small SUV is made to do more for less money. Seltos comes with impressive standard features and available options like all-wheel drive, turbo power, Heated front seats, wireless phone charger, 10-inch touchscreen, or Bose premium sound. Stack up Seltos next to the competition. Come by Kia of Cheyenne, call 775-0123, or go to kiaofcheyenne.com, and we'll make it easy.
You're tapping me. I'm adding up numbers. Why don't you come on and help me out here?
Oh,
you said you had a score update for me. Why don't you get on the score update?
All right, we'll
Let's take it here.
Again, as you don't communicate here in week 0, but again, as looking at Class 4A, the scoreboard, as we do have a few updates. Again, in the third quarter, across town at Casper Kelly Walsh, they did score another at least touchdown as they now lead 54-7, as that is again in the third quarter. Still tied again, as we mentioned, with Cheyenne East and Thunder Basin, 14-14 in the third. 35-3 in the fourth quarter now between Sheridan and Laramie. And on the board finally out in Campbell County in Gillette, it is Rock Springs 21, Campbell County 6. That is also 2 in the third.
All right, we want to thank all our fine sponsors. Without them, we wouldn't be able to bring you the ball game this evening and hopefully all season long, as we are fingers crossed that we're going to get through this. All right. You know, 2020 has been a unique and just I tell you, it's just been a taxing year on all of us. But I think tonight, the barrier, so to speak, has been broken on 2020. We're playing football here. And, again, we're at halftime in week 0. Central leads by the count of 14-0. Thank you to our fine sponsors, Shine Auto Repair and Service, LCCC Flight Crew, Baskin Robbins, Halliday Motors. Also, we want to thank Merritt Plumbing Heating, Burns Insurance Agency, Pete's Builders, Mary's Mountain Cookies, the Gill Window Company, Taco John's, our Taco John's scoreboard sponsor, Medicap Pharmacy, Platte Valley Bank, MHP LLP, Lennox Auto Body, First Tier Bank, Kia of Cheyenne, Wyoming Department of Transportation, Capital Lumber Company, the Bread Basket Bakery, B&B Appliance and TV, Charles Schwab, Cheyenne Urological, Chick-fil-A, Laramie County Community College, High West Energy, Foot of the Rockies, and just added today, John and the great crew over at Arrow Moving and Storage. Intermission. We'll come back with some stats. Central leads 14-0 back after this 2-minute timeout on 1480 KRAE.
College. It's filled with classrooms, instructors, and exams. But beyond that, it's filled with curiosity, budding friendships, insightful conversations, and so many opportunities. There will be people like you, and you, and you. You'll work, you'll play, you'll struggle, and you'll succeed. But when you allow yourself to pursue your dreams, you'll learn what you're truly made of.
We're back in Casper. Larry Proietti and Nick Proietti. Nick, let's run down the first half stats. We'll go first with Natrona. Again, all unofficial. Topper, the quarterback, has rushed the ball 10 times, called his number 10 times already, 25 yards rushing. He's also been joined in the backfield by Wickham. Wickham, who had a couple of carries. If I look at it right here, Mason Wickham, 2 rushes for 2 yards. Bundy came in, Braxton Bundy, he is a senior. He's towed the rock 2 times for 11 yards, and they tried that one fly sweep with Robert Douglas where he fumbled it, so 10 yards.
Yeah.
Minus 10 yards on that rush.
Offensive production for Natrona County really hasn't been all that impressive in the first 2 quarters here of this contest. It's pretty much been non-existent. Again, it took them all the way until midway of that second quarter to actually get onto Central High territory and eventually found themselves twice in the red zone, but again came away with no points from those offensive possessions.
So in the first half, I have them down for 27 yards rushing. In the passing department, Taubert is 5 of 9 with 2 interceptions in the first half. On the receiving end was Kelly, 1 reception for 37 yards. Cox has 2 receptions for 13 yards. Will Cox has 1 for 2. And Allison, who came in, Mylan Allison has 1 for 12 yards. So if you jot down the numbers real quick, there 64 yards passing in the first half for the Natrona Mustangs, again, who are scoreless. So total yardage in the first half under 100 at 91. Again, all unofficial.
Yeah, all unofficial, but again, that kind of reflects, or at least that should be around at least the exact stat where, again, Natrona County on the offense really has been kind of stonewalled by the Central High defense here.
For the Cheyenne Central Indians, Carter Lobatos, he's carried it 10 times. He's got 50 yards rushing. Cummins, the quarterback, 5 carries, and he's got a total of minus 5 yards, and that's more just bobbling the snap.
Yeah.
And then Jaden Cummings came in for his lone rush, and he has 8 yards. So, again, Central not really showing big numbers as well in the first half, as they have 47 total yards on the ground for the first half. And, again, let me get my numbers right there. If I 58, check that, 53 yards total rushing in the first half. Passing, Andrew Cummins is 11 of 20 through the air.
But however,
3 INTs.
Yeah, that is kind of the black and blue mark there for Cummings, where early on he was, again, those 2 straight drives for Cheyenne Central with 2 at least offensive, at least touchdowns. But other than that, though, again, it's been kind of rough going ever since that at least hot start for the Central High Indians, and especially for Cummins, where, again, 3 straight INT plays from him.
And for the Indians on the receiving side, Johnson has 5 of those catches for 82 yards. Brock Storbo has 2 for 15. Talich 1 for 4 yards. And Brady Storbo has 4 for 78 yards. So let me correct myself on Cummins. He is 12 of 21. 12 of 21 with 3 INTs. And for the Indians, Brady Storbo, 4 catches, 78 yards. Johnson, 5 for 82. 2 for Brock Storbo for 15. Talich, 1 for 4. So you add up those numbers real quick off the top of my head here as I'm looking at it. I do believe I come up with the number of 179 yards in the air. So offensively, the Indians have rolled up 232 yards here in the first half. Again, you've held Natrona under 100 at 91.
It reflects on the scoreboard. Again, 14 to nothing.
14-0.
Yeah. So, again, if Central, again, if they are able to repeat that again, that defense finds a way to slow down and find a way to trip up Natrona County, again, you're coming away with a victory, plain and simple here for Cheyenne Central. But, again, the second half for Natrona County, we've seen this how many times up here in this facility. They find a way to come back. They find a way to basically just wipe away that first half and again, stun teams here. We've seen it plenty of times.
Well, again, not the first rodeo for Steve Harsham.
Yeah.
He's been up here a long time. He knows how to battle, how to get his teams to battle back. I'm sure they're having a lengthy conversation in the locker room about this, that, and the other thing. He's got a great assistant coaching staff underneath him that has been with him for many years. So, you know, they have seen a lot of the Central playbook already here in the first half. Some of the things that Central has been able to blow up on their playbook, they probably corrected those mistakes. And the same thing for Central. Central saw, some things that went bad for them late in the second quarter. So, Mike Apodak in his third season, I'll tell you what, he has really made this Indians football team a lot of fun to watch and exciting. So, again, and the excitement right now, at least for the first half, Central leads 14-0 as both teams come out of the locker room.
And they give them about that 3-minute grace, as we always see. Again, as halftime is already at least time-wise expired, but they always give them that grace period to get everything squared away. So gives a chance to at least, again, update one more time, as we had a few at least updates regarding the scoreboard. All games now in the fourth quarter, as this game, again, started on time as two others in Class 4A, but for whatever reason, it is kind of dragged on here. But every team, at least every game is in the fourth quarter. We'll start again across the town, at least across the way with Cheyenne South. Casper Kelly Walsh hosting the South High Fighting Bison. 54-14 in that contest. Unfortunately for Dan Gallus and his squad, again, look at least finding themselves going to be 0-1 here to start out the season. Right now, the tie is no more in Thunder Basin in Gillette, with the Bolts up 21-14 in the fourth quarter there. 42-10, Sheridan leads the Laramie Plainsmen in the fourth quarter, and Rock Springs adds another touchdown to make it 28-6 in the fourth quarter out there in Campbell County.
I think the Bolts game will slow down because, again, both those teams throw the football when they need to.
Yeah.
But they live and die off the ground as well. But here's why the game is slowed down, though, Nick. We've got 30 passes already, including 5 interceptions. So that's how the game is bogged down a little bit. Not so much delays. We had the one little injury to Jaden Cummings where just a cramp in there. That slowed it down a couple of minutes. But other than that, this game has moved along pretty good. We got about 90 seconds to go before the second half kickoff, so why don't we take a quick 60-second timeout? We'll be back with the third quarter right after this here on 1480 KRAE. Both teams getting ready now for the third quarter. It will be Natrona on the receiving side of the Tegan Tippett's kickoff. Back deep will be Robert Douglas along with Caden Wilcox. And again, Douglas, the senior, Wilcox, the junior.
Want to take this opportunity again. Thank you to all who have tuned in, whether it is 1480 AM, 101.1 FM in the Cheyenne area on your radio dial, 1480KRAE.com. At least audio live streaming on that end, and video live streaming. Again, appreciate everyone that's tuned in on the Periscope via Twitter site at Nick Wild Sports and the 1480 KRAE YouTube channel. Again, 5 different ways to tune in for high school football, high school basketball this season, fingers crossed, and also too, fingers crossed for LCCC basketball, which again has now been shifted to 2021 as the start time for there. But again, 5 different ways, completely free to tune in to some high school athletics and JUCO athletics coming up here in 2020, 2021.
So the Mustangs break their huddle. Tippetts and the Indians are on the field waiting for the official to hand him the football as we are getting ready for third quarter play. Again, a great night here in Casper. Usually when we come up here, we got thunder and everything else that's going on, or it's just a plain old cold night.
Yeah, again, it's kind of fair weather out here. Again, not too warm, not too cold. It's kind of just that right. Again, just a little breezy here.
Tippetts has it teed up at the 40. Douglas along with Wilcox back deep. Here's the kick, high, end over end, and that goes about 8 yards deep again in the end zone. So for the Mustangs. They'll have the ball first down and 10 at their 20-yard line. Glad you mentioned all of the ways you can hear and watch us. Again, we want to welcome the worldwide audience, the regional audience, and our local audience. Thank you so much for joining us on the live stream.
Especially
here.
the worldwide audience, where right now, again, you have select games in the MLB. NHL is not really returning just yet. NBA is on a pause. So, again, sports-wise, hey, it's happening here, at least in full force in the state of Wyoming, especially where there is no collegiate football happening coming up tomorrow as well.
Good news is there's no politics in high school sports here in Wyoming. We play football. Bundy to the left of Taubert, and he will take the handoff. Goes up the middle, and nice gainer to start off the second half as he will pick up, it looks like about, I'm going to give him 7 to, let's see if they mark it to 26. And actually, it's right in between. I'm going to give him 7 on the run.
Give him about 6 3/4 on that, but they're going to say second down and 3 to go for Natrona.
So trying to grind it out of the box are the Mustangs. Taubert again, operate out of the gun. Bundy to his left. Second down is short. And again, Bundy again. Off tackle this time. He'll be short of the first down to the 29 as he went on the right side. Looks like to the 29. And
got swallowed
got
up by
one official that's got it marked wrong. Now they're going to move it, and they
moved it forward.
Yeah, that one is a bad call.
So they're going to give it 3rd and inches for Natrona on that.
That is a terrible spot from the near side judge. I think that was absolutely horrible.
Kind of a home.
That's a homer there. He was down at the 29-yard line. Well, Taubert tried to go straight ahead with the quarterback keeper. He was bumped back and stayed on his feet. He's brought down by Talich along with Dilly, but he'll have the first down at the 36-yard line. Nice run by Taubert and give him 6 on that play.
First down for Natrona County as they're making a drive here early on in the third quarter.
Ball right now rested on their own 36-yard line as they're going right to left across your radio dial as well as your live stream. In motion comes Avery Cox. Near side to the far side. Back to pass goes Taubert. Plenty of time. Wants it all. Going for Douglas. Douglas makes the grab. And he's down. Let's see where they'll mark him down. Caught him in stride with the pass. It looks like the 23-yard line. Check that, the 21. So on that gain, 14-29, 43 yards on the pass play. Check it, 42 yards as the ball now is marked at the 17.
So the first kind of big-time play for the Mustangs coming in here early in the third quarter as now, once again, they're knocking on that door to at least put points on the board.
Ball on the 22. High snap. Taubert calls his own number, sweeps to the outside, ducks down low, and sneaks inside the 20, down to the 19, and to give them 5 on the play.
So for the third time for Natrona County here in this contest, they are once again in the Central High red zone.
So
but again, they are 0 for 2.
The Douglas pass went 41 yards. Taubert's run goes about 4 yards. So it'll be second down and 6. Long 5, actually. Ball right now just inside the 19. As they need to get just inside the 14. Back to pass goes Taubert. He steps, he throws into the end zone. Cox makes the grab. Touchdown. Avery Cox on the receiving end of the 19-yard aerial as Taubert hit him in stride.
And it's just as elementary as that for Natrona County. Just like that, again, first possession here of the second half. And now it's pinning the PAT at one possession game.
Yeah, you don't fall asleep on this team.
No.
That's the first and foremost thing you don't do with the Mustangs.
And that was what you had to worry about for Mike Apodaca and his crew, where, again, Natrona County, they find a way to figure out things at halftime and put on pressure here against teams. And we've seen many a time that they pull away and get those upsets, quote unquote, again, when they're down here at Cheyenne Alumni Field.
Hoppins to attempt the PAT. It will be out of the hold of Wilcox. Snap is back. Plays down. Kick is through the uprights and good. 9:22 left in quarter number 3 as the Mustangs take all but 2 minutes and 38 seconds to score. Central 14, Natrona 7 back after this 30-second timeout on 1480 KRAE. Nick, an 80-yard impressive drive by the Mustangs. Didn't have really any setbacks in that drive, and a couple of big strikes. Cox and Douglas making those good catches.
Douglas with the big one, again, the catch that, again, netted him about 40, 50 yards all the way down, got him down to about the 22-yard line. Just like that, again, Natrona County, we were waiting for this team to show up and do something like that. Now they have, now only down by one score. For Cheyenne Central, this is what you had to worry about, because it's a reality that's happening and unfolding where this team is now finding that momentum.
Tippett's back deep along with Jaden Cummings. They're around the 3-yard line. Hoppins to boot it away, and this one, he put a foot into that thing as Cummings comes away with it at the 2 yards deep in the end zone, and the Indians will take over with the ball on their own 20-yard line to open up the third quarter. Well, it's not panic time by any stretch of the imagination by the Indians, but what they need now is a drive and, again, less mistakes. Again, we saw the senior quarterback, Andrew Cummins, have problems with the football in the first half.
Yeah, the low snaps and, basically for Cheyenne Central at this point in time, you need to slow down the Natrona County momentum that they have currently, and you got to make this an extended drive, and if not, again, get those 7 points back.
Cummings will send Brady Storbo in motion. Hand it off to Labatos. Labatos bust ahead. Very short gain, maybe 2 yards.
Early in this contest where we saw Cheyenne Central and especially Labatos find those open holes, those open gaps against Natrona County. Now pretty much Natrona County they're not there anymore. They found a way to at least plug up those holes.
So they're going to give Labatos 3 to the 23. Cummings will pitch it back to Labatos. He's got a block in front of him. 30 to the 40. Still on his feet down to the 47-yard line. Oh, what a run that time by Carter Labatos. How about 24 yards on that run? That was huge, and that was what the doctor ordered.
Now, a simple just pitch back to Labatos. They're going to sweep play out to the left.
He had Brock Storbo out in front of him, and then as he ran past Storbo, he had a lot of daylight.
And just like that, again, a big-time play nets them around the 50-yard line here for Cheyenne Central.
So 2 plays, and the Indians have marched it to the 47-yard line. Labatos again straight ahead, this time nowhere to go. If they give him forward progress, they'll give him the 48. I like this one official from the side here. He looks like he's going to the 48, and then he kind of goes sideways to the 47. Let's see where they mark him at. They're going to give him a very short yard, 1 yard on the gain. Second down and a long 9. So Brock Storbo along with Johnson to the near side. They'll send Brady Storbo flanked to the near side. They'll swing it out to Storbo. Storbo had to wait for the pass and maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage. And that one took too long in developing.
Yeah, and also, too, the ball was thrown behind Storbo on that play. So, again, he had to contort his body to go forward where Natrona was reading that play and, again, got him for a gain of about, at least they're going to say about no gain.
Yeah, that's a good job by Storbo, too, because that would be considered a lateral if he didn't come away with it since it was behind him. Third down and 9. Now officials timeout. We'll see what the side judge here on the near side seems to be plenty busy right now.
There's a wind really picking up here in Casper. And I think now they're going to send out.
They're going to send Brock Storbo out for an equipment.
So it looked like something fell off, or it looked like a mouthpiece came out. I'm not sure. But either way, though, yeah, so one of the Storbos has to go out to this.
He has to go out for this play. And coming in for him is Kenyon Lewis. Third down for the Indians. Cummings back to pass. Fires a screen. It's tipped away and incomplete. And knocking it down for the Mustangs was Jace George. George got a big paw on it, and Cummings throws it incomplete.
And it is fourth down for Cheyenne Central as they'll punt this ball away. This is not what you wanted to see if you're a Central High Indian fan and Mike Apataka, where right now Natrona County has all the momentum in the world.
So back deep, looks like it'll be Wilcox, and also for the Mustangs, Luke Spencer. Johnson will boot it away. Ball right now resting at their 47. Bad snap. Johnson has to pick it up. Now he's running for his life. Gets outside, turns it up midfield, and he will be dropped at the 49-yard line. So Johnson turned a disaster into a positive gain. Unfortunately, it's not a first down, as he will get 4 yards on the run.
So instead, it'll be a turnover and downs, and great field position now for the Natrona County Mustangs.
So for Cheyenne Central, you don't need to help the Mustangs out any.
And they certainly got away with it in that first half, but now in the second half, especially what we're just, again, pinning this offensive possession, now this is the time you don't want to. Right now, Natrona County, they're smelling the momentum. They know what's going on.
Oh, they're like sharks. They know when there's blood in the water. Hash mark to the far side. Mustangs going right to the left. And they'll hand, Taubert calls his own number, wrapped up and dropped. And big play there for Cheyenne Central. And again, that was huge. Grabbing him was Colin Umel.
Mosley was also due on that play for Central.
That'll be a no-gainer. So 2nd down and 10, as Taubert will be shut down on that one. Bundy in the backfield as he will line up to the right. Again, Taubert operates out of the gun. Kelly is split out on top. Long count, back to pass goes Taubert. Pump fakes, going long. Kelly wide open again, overshoots him. Boy, I'll tell you what, he put the nice fake on as he drew Jaden Cummings up. Cummings bought the fake.
Yeah.
And it will be incomplete. That would have been 6 for sure.
That would have been guaranteed at least 13 points there for Natrona County. Again, right now, for whatever reason, Cheyenne Central acted a little lackadaisical on both sides of the ball here.
3rd down for the Mustangs. Ball right at midfield.
But give kudos to Steve Arshman and his crew out here. Again, what they do with Natrona County, where at Cheney Alumni Field, it is so difficult to pick up a victory here.
Well,
this team is so deadly here.
They never panic. Allison along with Douglas split out on top. Taubert, 3rd down and long. He's back to pass, plenty of time. He steps, he throws, and it's going to be picked off. And a late flag comes in.
And we'll see what is going to be
It's not going to be picked off. It's dropped by Johnson.
But we will see what that flag's going to be, whether it is.
It could be offensive pass interference.
Yeah.
Right now they're going
to spot that ball down
at the 20. They're going to say Johnson did make the grab.
And they will say pass interference regarding Cheyenne Central.
So Central with a pass interference.
So where we thought that was an INT play for the Central I Indians.
So the flag right now not being generous to the Indians.
Even though they're backing up that ball to the 50, and I guess they're going to make the full.
Yeah, it's a 15-yard penalty, so they'll mark it down to the 35-yard line. So a fresh set of downs for the Mustangs. Once you had them down, and there they come back again. That is a huge penalty. I thought Johnson was in front. That one would be hard to see. Of course, we don't have the advantage of replay. Bundy on the carry as he gets dropped right away. As he is dropped right at the line of scrimmage.
So make it 2nd down and no gain on that play. But
he ran into Mosley.
But right now, Natrona again driving in Central I territory.
So Bundy runs right into the waiting arms of Mosley. No gain on the play. 2nd down and 10. About 5:55 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Taubert now will have Bundy to his left. He's got Douglas split out on the far side. He's the one you want to watch for. Taubert back to pass. Blitz by Mosley. Taubert throws it. He's got a man coming across the field to make the grab for the Mustangs.
An almost great play in the backfield there for Central I. Instead turns into a positive gain, a big game for Natrona County.
Allison makes the grab at the 12. That's a 23-yard pass play. So Allison with a couple of big catches for the Mustangs.
Once again, the Mustangs in Central, at least in the red zone.
Ball on the 12. Taubert again out of the gun. Sends Allison in motion. This time we'll give it off to Bundy. Bundy cuts back against the grain, and he's inside the 5. Let's see where his knees touch down. It looks like at the 4-3. That would be, what, a 9-yard gain right there by Bundy.
I'm going to say about the 3-yard line, somewhere in there, but second down and goal.
Knocking down the door again are the Mustangs. Second down and a short one.
Short one.
Taubert to Bundy. Bundy tripped up. Coming up to trip him up quickly. And that was a huge stop right there for Cheyenne Central. That would be Jackson Labatos from his backer position.
Jackson, who we called out his name a couple times on the defensive side for Coach Apodaca last season, showing his presence here tonight.
No gain on the play, third down,
as we
got about a yard.
We got 4:18 remaining here in the third quarter.
So Taubert, high snap, gives it off to Bundy. Bundy will have the first down. Does he drive forward for the touchdown? No signal yet. They're going to say no, right at the stripe. So they're going to stop the clock. They're going to get everything all straightened out there.
It'll give Natrona the first down at least, so they have multiple downs to drive this one in and just basically do the simple QB sneak if you want to.
And that's probably Taubert will call his own number.
Yeah.
So
basically rely on your offensive line to give you a big old push and just get past that goal line.
First and goal from about the half-foot line. Taubert will line up over center. Taubert calls his own number and backs his way in for the touchdown. No signal yet. Hold everything. Which is a touchdown finally signaled. I mean, that was a no-brainer.
Yeah, now don't know what the delay was on that.
Yeah. Maybe that's why our game's going so long.
The officials. Again, it's week 0 here in Class 4A and what we're seeing here in Casper, Wyoming. But just like that, Natrona County now down by 1 point, pinning the PAT. Natrona, who struggled that entire first half to put points on the board, now 2 straight offensive possessions, back-to-back with 2 touchdowns.
Hoppins in for the PAT. Wilcox to hold. Snap is back. Placement is down. Kick is good. We're tied 14-14. 3:37 to go here in the third quarter between the Mustangs and the Indians back after this 30-second timeout on 1480 KRAE. Asleep at the wheel, so we'll keep it here.
I'm assuming so at this point.
3:37 to go. 14-14 our score as the Indians now will send out the kick return team again. Once again, it'll be Tibbetts and Jaden Cummings back deep. Hoppins to boot it away. Last time he put it about 2 yards deep in the end zone. 14-14 our score. You know, Nick, and I said this, and you even agreed with me, and you've been here too. You just never sell this Natrona. When you get them down, you got to kick them. You got to make sure they don't get up. You can't give them any sort of life. And ready, the second half looks like how the Indians came out in the first half.
Right now, Natrona County looks like this is a team that is, again, third in the preseason polls, a team that is, again, just unbeatable here at Cheney Alumni Field. They have come awake here.
Hoppins, end over end, again about 2 yards deep in the end zone. Cummings makes the grab. Central will operate from their own 20-yard line. And again, you know, with the Indians and the Mustangs, are they two evenly matched teams? Absolutely.
I think absolutely.
I think either one of these two teams you just don't want to catch on any given Friday night.
No. And again, the only advantage right now for Casper and Natrona is, again, they're at home where Central had to travel for this contest. So, again, you give that slight home field advantage, but give kudos to Cheyenne Central. Again, it's still a tie ball game, even though you've had difficulty, at least with your offensive possessions here.
Brady Storbro in motion. Back to pass, and he fires an interception. It's picked off by Wilcox, and Wilcox to the 21. That is INT number 4 for Cummins. And the Mustangs in business, Central 21-yard line. There was nobody there but Wilcox.
Yeah. Again, it was tipped out of, I do believe, that was Scoreboard's hands. Again, he had a paw on it, tipped it up, and just like that, INT number 4. So Natrona County, phenomenal position. They're just outside.
Outside the red zone.
Outside the red zone, so a chance for them to now take the lead.
You know they're going to get a dose of Taubert and Bundy here down this part of the field. So it's first down and 10 with the ball resting at the 21-yard line. Hash mark to the far side. Bundy to the right of Taubert. High snap, and Taubert calls his own number. Breaks one tackle and driven down. Well, he got pulled down from behind by Carter Lobatos.
But it'll still be a positive gain there for Natrona.
As Taubert has some words with Lobatos.
We're say about second down and 6. Looks like a gain about 4.
4 yards for Taubert at the 16-yard line.
As now we approach the 3-minute mark here left in the third quarter. A game that at least kind of dragged against the rest of Class 4A, but it's now picking up speed here.
And they'll hand it off. This time nowhere to go. As Bundy.
He'll get swallowed in the backfield, so loss of massive
force.
Yeah.
Well, that actually lost a 3 to the 20. So that is huge right there for Central. Again, Hoppins got a big leg, so well within his range for field goal if they need him.
Yeah.
Right now, as they will switch out Hoppins, as a matter of fact, he'll come on out, and he'll be replaced by Allison. Allison with a couple of big grabs for the Mustangs.
3rd and 9 for Natrona County, again deep in Central High territory.
Right now, in the middle of the field, and back to pass goes Taubert. He breaks the pressure, and he's got a wide open lane, and he will step out of bounds at the 6-yard line. How about 14 yards on that run? And, I mean, there was a lot of turf in front of him.
Yeah, and again, the trailing Indian that got close to stopping him on that play was Jackson Lobatos. He was just, again, fingertips away from tripping him up, or, again, kind of at least would have prevented that big-time play. But just like that, make it first down and goal for Natrona County once again. Again, a chance here to take the lead.
Ball right now resting on the 6-yard line. Taubert, he'll call his own number this time. He'll cut it back inside. He's in, untouched, touchdown. How about 3 scores in a row? And Central's offense basically gifted them that touchdown.
And also, too, you're seeing right now a collapse of the Central High defense that was slowing down the Natrona County Mustangs. As you mentioned, again, held that offense in the first half less than 100 yards. Right now, you're seeing the offense now, or at least, excuse me, the defense for Cheyenne Central now allow 3 straight scoring opportunities for the Mustangs. And now they have their first lead of the evening, coming with 2 minutes left remaining here in the third quarter.
Hoppins will be on to attempt the PAT, again out of the hold of Wilcox. Low snap, but still drills it through. And good. Mustangs 21, Central 14, 2 minutes to go in quarter number 3. We're back after this 30-second timeout on 1480 KRAE. And welcome back to Cheney Alumni Field. Larry Proietti, Nick Proietti. Third quarter has been a disaster for Cheyenne Central. Now, you kind of expected the Mustangs to come out and try to set the tone in the third period. They did.
That was something that, again, kind of alluding in the halftime kind of notes were, again, if we were to chat with Mike Apodaca and the Central High team, again, this is a team for Natrona County. They find a way to figure things out at halftime. They know how to come back. They know how to get it done here at Cheney Alumni Field for whatever reason it is. And we're seeing it, again, first and foremost right here, right in front of our very eyes, where right now they have their first lead of the evening 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter.
And the senior quarterback for the Indians, Andrew Cummings, is learning a quick lesson. Hey, these teams are going to come back at you over the head of Tippett as Hoppin's kick goes out. But I'm just saying, in the case of Andrew Cummings, you make a mistake against these type of teams, they're going to come back and they're going to shove it down your throat.
And you wonder right now for Mike Apodaca, Cheyenne Central, and especially for Cummins at this point, for at least being the man behind the helm, at least on the offensive possession, you wonder if his night's over. Could you go to Feaser? Could you go to Bradley Feaser, who, again, has taken a few, at least, quarterback snaps of what we saw last season and replace a few?
And the answer is no. It will be Andrew Cummins back at the helm again for Cheyenne Central with Lobatos. And they'll go to Lobatos. Off tackle. They're trying to strip the football away from him as he bobbled it momentarily, but will get to the 25-yard line to pick up a 5.
And I think you can expect a healthy dose of run plays here by Lobatos and maybe switching between Jaden Cummings, maybe even Cummins as well, too, taking the football himself. But I think you're going to probably see that this football will stay on the ground for a majority of this offensive possession.
Well, you got to give that defense a little break as well, too. Cummins hands it off to Lobatos. Lobatos busting forward, just shy of the first down. Let's see if they're going to spot him about a half-yard short, so give him 4 on the play. Third down.
3rd and inches for Cheyenne Central as a minute 15 left here before we hit fourth quarter action.
Storbo along with Talich, that's and a hard count. Offside, nice job that time by Cummings to draw the offside.
So how about the automatic first down now for the Central Iowa Indians?
So they will get the ball at the 34-yard line. As I was mentioning, Talich and Brady Storbo on top. Brock Storbo along with Johnson. Johnson's been really quiet here in the second half. Of course, haven't had a chance to do anything. Back to pass goes Cummings. Took too long, but he got the ball to Johnson. Johnson along the sideline still fights his way forward to the 42-yard line.
Asking you shall receive as Johnson on that play there. Making a positive forward motion.
You got to go to the money guy right now. 8 yards on that pass play as Johnson makes the grab. And again, the Storbo twins, their money in the bank. Talich's money in the bank, but you got to get the football to them. And it looks like Cummings right now might be a little shell-shocked. You know, welcome to Class 4A football in Wyoming.
Yeah.
Hand off to Lobatos, off tackle. Breaks down quickly, but Lobatos on his own over the 45 to the 46, and 3 tough yards for Carter Lobatos.
He's going to be just shy of that first down, or at least they're going to actually, looks like, give it to him.
So he'll pick it up. Probably one more play here in the third quarter, then we'll switch sides. Cummins out of the gun, back to pass. Fires across the way. He's got Talich. Talich with a big run after the grab, and he'll be dropped at the Natrona. Let's see if they give him the 40.
I think they will, just behind the 40-yard line, just inches.
Well, you give him 14 yards on the grab.
As we are now 10 seconds away from the fourth quarter.
Talich with only his second catch. Cummins. This time to Lobatos. Lobatos bounces off one tackler and fights for a yard. So give him 1, and it will be the end of quarter number 3. Central trails 21-14, the final 12 minutes when we come back after this 60-second timeout on 1480 KRAE. Back to Casper, Wyoming, and Natrona High School. By the way, we have these same Mustangs coming up in week 1 next week at Cheyenne East. So we'll be at the Okie Blanchard Sports Complex. Yeah. So the Thunderbirds are going to have their hands full with these Mustangs. And do want to remind you, Central will be at home for their home opener. They'll have Kelly Walsh. South High will be at home as they will welcome the Sheridan Broncs. So all teams on the road this week, all of them home next weekend.
But again, the game that we will have on 1480 AM, 101.1 FM, 1480KRAE.com, and Periscope via Twitter and the 1480KRAE YouTube channel. Again, it will be Natrona County, the same Mustangs team, on the road at Cheyenne East, taking on the Thunderbirds. Again, looking forward to that, as that will be week 1, but game number 2 of Class 4A 2020 regular season action.
Thunder Basin will be on the road. They'll be at Rock Springs, and it looks like Laramie will be home to host the Campbell County Camels. Here for the Indians, 2nd down and 9. Cummings on the fly sweep this time to Talich. Talich looking for a block from Labatos. He gets it, cuts it back inside. Nice job that time by Talich and Labatos. They will drive it down to the 32-yard line. That'll be about a yard shy.
What a great effort there by Talich, finding open spacing, getting that drive there. Again, positive yardage, as now Cheyenne Central making a little drive here in the Natrona County, at least, territory.
First carry for Talich. 3rd down and short. We'll say 3rd and 2. We'll still give Talich 8 on the run. Bad snap. Cummings took his eye off the ball, and Labatos has to fall on it back at the 49-yard line. What the heck happened there?
As Cummings is having that difficulty here tonight, you wonder if those butterflies have got to be as big as eagles at this point in time. Again, that has been about the 5th, 6th, 7th, at least blown opportunity.
Well, and here's what happened with Cummings. He did a hard count. He thought he got Natrona offside in the infraction in the neutral zone. Yeah. No flag came down. The snap came back from Koenig, and Labatos had a fall on it back at the 49-yard line. What a huge loss.
Yeah, positive momentum there, cut short for Cheyenne Central, now having to punt this football away, giving Natrona County another opportunity, as they're already 3 for 3 on offensive possessions here in the second half.
And Labatos has to absorb an 18-yard loss. Johnson will kick one end over end. It will back up the Mustangs. Looks like to their 13-yard line. Another blown offensive opportunity by the Indians as they were driving. Chance to possibly get even, and again, just another dumb mistake.
And again, hopefully if we do talk with Coach Apodaca, again, he's got to at least probably that's going to be the key factor of depending on the results here. If Central is to lose this contest, again, you got to look back to what your now starting quarterback, at least how his play was here tonight. Again, the struggles on offense and struggling to at least get that football in his hands on those snaps. And that's the key factor right now.
We have for Cummins, again, the senior, and you feel bad for the young man. I mean, he's dropped about 4 or 5 snaps.
Yeah.
That one, and again, to his defense, I think he thought he had them jumping because he did the hard count.
As we have a timeout call by Natrona County there.
So Steve Harshman calls a timeout with 10:26 to go. Let's keep it here. So going back to Andrew Cummings, again, he looked at, after he had the hard count, he thought he got the Mustangs to jump offside, but they didn't.
Yeah.
And then the snap came back from Koenig to him, and Cummins wasn't even expecting the snap.
Yeah, again, it was – you wonder if he's taking his eye off the ball, so to speak, and he's wondering where, or at least trying to see the movement, or again, he's focusing more on the defenders.
He's sizing up the defense.
He's sizing up the defense, and again, taking his eye off of it, where that's been the costly factor. So, again, right now it has been a big issue right now for Cheyenne Central, and again, could be the good reason why Central at least starts out the season 0-1.
And right now, if the Mustangs happen to march this sucker down, stick a fork in the Indians. I don't think they can come back from two touchdowns down.
Do want to take this opportunity right now to pass along all final scores in Class 4A. We're the only game at least going underway here in Casper between Natrona and Cheyenne Central. But finals, Casper Kelly Walsh gets it done. 40-point victory for them over Cheyenne South, 54-14. So again, Cheyenne South starts 0-1. Same with Cheyenne East, as they will start the season 0-1. They lose to Thunder Basin 34-28. Rock Springs gets the victory 35-6, and Sheridan gets a victory 42-10 over Laramie.
East has these same Mustangs next Friday night in Cheyenne. Taubert. A high snap. He'll pull it down, and he'll get positive yardage out of it. Let's see where he is driven down. Looks like to the 17-yard line. So a nice little run there by Taubert on the very high snap, as he will pick up about 3-4 yards. I give him 3 yards on that play.
But how about a battle there in Gillette between Thunder Basin and Cheyenne East? East, the number 2 team in preseason. Thunder Basin, number 5. They get the quote-unquote upset victory at home against the East High Thunderbirds.
2nd down and 7. Taubert rolls to his right, then throws it off balance as he tried to throw against the grain, trying to hook up with Douglas. Talich on the coverage, incomplete. So it will be 3rd down and 7 for the Mustangs. Ball right now back in their territory at the 17-yard line. Boy, a stop right now would be huge for Cheyenne Central.
They need it.
Yeah,
plain and simple, they need it.
This defense needs to bow the net.
They need to slow down, at least find a way to stop Natrona County, because, again, they're on a 3 offensive possession streak of 3 straight touchdowns here.
Bundy to the right of Taubert. Taubert, another high snap, rolling to his right. Fires back across his body, and it's almost picked off. Almost picked off. Who had it? Boy, in and out of the hands. I think that was Cardinal Lobatos.
I think Lobatos had, again, paws all over that, just could not at least reel it in.
And again,
it will be 4th down for Natrona, though.
So for Taubert, again, trying to throw against the grain, and threw a weak pass, and Taubert almost came with it. Stops the clock with 9:44 to go.
We talked about that big-time stop. Here it is, 3 and out for Natrona County as they're getting personnel in.
So back to punt it away is Avery Cox.
That big stop that we wanted out of Central High defense, they got it here.
Back deep for the Indians is Lewis. It's a short kick. Takes a Natrona bounce, and it was touched at the 47-yard line. Now, the ball should be dead at the 47.
As we have a flag down as well.
Now, again, how can you miss that? The Natrona Mustang youngster touched at the 47. That's a dead ball right there. There it is. One official is there. He caught it. And Lewis ended up picking it up at the 40 and got dropped right there. Where's your flag?
Or at least they were indicating the flag. It was a flag down, but also, too, again, as you can see.
Now they mark it at the 42. And that's not right.
As they do. They call a penalty against Natrona County. So, again, there was a fraction against the Natrona County Mustangs.
All right. I'm glad you saw that flag. So, but the Indians should be very upset with that because it was touched at the 47.
Well, again, now as they're moving that up.
Moving it back, you should say.
Or at least, excuse me, yeah, they're moving it back. So it looks like they'll get that re-kick.
I missed the penalty. Was it too many men on the field?
I did not see what the at least call was on that play, but again, it was a penalty called against Natrona County.
So the Mustangs get marched back.
So it looks like
to their 11.
Yeah, 11-yard line.
Lewis now will move up to the 50. Wow. I'll restart the clock with 9:25 on the Taco John scoreboard. Cox again will put a foot into it. He does so. This one is shorter, and it's picked up by Lewis at the 41 and dropped at the 40. Boy, quickly was he brought down.
But it's still in Natrona County, at least territory for Cheyenne Central to hopefully tie this ball game up.
And that looked like Jesse Rasha, who brought down Lewis about the moment he caught the football.
Plenty of time remaining for Cheyenne Central, 9:15 remaining.
Good
in
field
contest.
position, 41-yard line for the Indians for a chance for them to tie up. They did what they needed to do. Defensively, they got the stop.
The key factor right now, and again, the person to spotlight is Cummings, where right now, and he needs to take care of that football.
Andrew Cummings, the senior, the transfer senior for Cheyenne Central. He wears number 3. He'll hand off to Lobatos. Lobatos straight ahead, big hole to the 30, and driven down, and then a late flag comes in. That might be a face mask.
I think so.
26-yard line, so for Lobatos, 15 yards on the run, you might get some extra freebie yardage.
We'll wait the call from the officiating crew here.
Personal foul, face mask.
So that'll go against Natrona.
Let's see if this is the biggie.
Either way, they will march back, at least in the Natrona County Mustangs.
Well, it'll be half the distance to the goal. So for the Indians, they will have the football right now at the Mustang 13-yard line.
As Casper Natrona now handing Cheyenne Central an opportunity here, well within the red zone.
Cummins hands off to Lobatos. He goes off tackle, cuts it back inside. Inside the 10, down to maybe the 5. Let's see if he got 8 yards on that run. They're going to mark him at the 5, give Carter Lobatos 8 more yards rushing.
Let's make it 2nd down and 2 for Cheyenne Central as they're knocking on the goal line to potentially tie up this ball game.
8:40 on the Taco John scoreboard to go. Lobatos again takes the handoff inside. Down to maybe the 2. They'll give them the 3, and that will be enough for the first down.
So 1st down and goal for Cheyenne Central.
So it'll be 1st down.
Defense came up with a big stop against the Mustangs, making them go 3 and out. And here we go with the Cheyenne Central offense now finding the rhythm.
And keeping it down on the ground. Cummings again out of the gun. Movement up front by the Mustangs as they bowl right into Koenig, the center. And that would be probably against the Mustangs a hard count that time by Cummins.
As we'll have the refs convene once again.
Again, you can hear the breeze in the background. It's offside, encroachment. So that'll move the ball now to about the 1.5.
So basically, it's pretty much does Cummins take it, or will you hand it off to Lobatos to just go straight up the gut?
No, they're going to throw it for the touchdown, and Johnson can't come away with it. Good coverage defensively by Valdez, and it will be 2nd down and goal from the 1.5.
Very interesting play where, again, you can find some spacing there up the middle with Lobatos. Again, he can drive in.
Well, that was just a quick slant.
Yeah.
Maybe he wanted to give Lobatos, a play off.
Or at least give Cummings some confidence, at least getting back into the throw game.
This time, Cummins rolls to his right, and then he'll just throw it in for a touchdown. Brock Storbo makes the grab. Cummins had the opportunity there on the boot, either to take it in himself. He decided to back off. He saw Brock Storbo wide open. He'll make the grab. We'll give him 2 yards on the TD strike.
And just like that,
21-20.
Pending the PAT, Central about to tie up this ball game again.
So for Cummins, he'll get the TD strike to Brock Storbo. Tippett's on for the PAT. He'll put it up through the uprights, and we are tied at 21s. 21-21, 8:07 to go here in Casper. Mustangs, Indians, knotted up. We're back after this 60-second timeout on 1480 KRAE. Scoreboard tied 21-21. The Taco John scoreboard. Tippett's has it teed up at the 40-yard line. Both Tippett's and Hoppins have been showing some strong legs. Tippett's will boot it away, and this one will go right into the end zone about 6 yards deep. Boy, I'll tell you what. If Tippett is called upon to kick the game-winning field goal, yeah, he'll make it.
Well, again, the win certainly helped push that thing deep into the end zone. So Central right there.
So you want to be on the hash mark to the far side.
Pretty much at that point in time. For Cheyenne Central, you saw a big key defensive stop there, 3 and out for the Natrona County Mustangs, and the offense responded, getting points on the board. Again, that's the first touchdown in quite some time for the Central Indians, again, since early on in the first quarter.
Well, listen here. It's quiet.
Yeah.
Kind of took
That's
the
huge.
crowd out of it, out of at least that drive.
Basically for Cheyenne Central on again, the defense and offensive possessions that we just saw back to back. Again, you took Natrona County in general just out of this contest, or at least kind of quieted them down.
Taubert in motion, and on the and a fumble. It's loose on the turf, and it looks like that the Mustangs will fall on it. Boy, and they'll be dropped back to their 12-yard line. Boy, disaster saved right there by the Mustangs. They'll lose 9 on the play. I think Taubert dropped the football.
I do believe so, and it looked like Umali for Cheyenne Central was just a hand away from picking that ball up and making it Central High Indian football once again.
So for the Mustangs, they look at a second down and, well, we'll say 7 yards on the loss. Second down is 17. Taubert now out of the gun. Bundy to his right. Back to pass goes Taubert. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And coming through for Cheyenne Central. That one, he was reading that all the way, was Colin Umel. So Umel will drop Taubert for a loss to the 9. So another 4-yard loss for the Mustangs and Taubert.
So make it third down and quite some distance for Natrona County.
Third down.
Right now you see the Central High, at least sidelines right now, pumping up that defense.
Well, they did a pooch kick earlier from deep in their territory, so got to watch out for Taubert here. And now the Indians are claiming that the Mustangs moved. Mustangs say the Indians moved.
And I think it'll go against Cheyenne Central on that one, even though refs are going to congregate once again to figure out who moved.
And it will be encroachment against Cheyenne Central.
So that'll make that third down a little bit more.
Well, if you want the side judge on our side, I guarantee he's not going to give a Central call.
Yeah.
So 5-yard penalty will move the football to the 14.
So we'll make it that much more at least viable for Natrona County, even though it's still third down and long.
Third down and 16 for the Mustangs. Taubert rolls to his left. He tucks it away, keeps it, and will be stopped shy of the first down. Nice run by Taubert as he will pick up on that play 12 yards on the run. So it's fourth down.
That'll be fourth down and about 4 for Natrona County, as it looks like they're sending out the punt unit with about 6 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter.
And that will be Avery Cox to possibly put a shoe into it. The senior, back deep.
We'll see if Natrona County tries to play at least a fake here.
Kenyon Lewis, or again, try to draw the Indians offside. Snap is back. Kick is away. Nice punt, drives Lewis back. Lewis gets away from one would-be tackler to the 40-yard line and then is pulled down at the 42. Lewis returns it about 8 yards for Cheyenne Central, but good field position.
Yeah, great field position, even though and they're on their own side of the field. But again, you'll take it right now. Offensive possession, 5:38 remaining in this contest, with Central having all the momentum now, where it felt like this game was slowly slipping away from them in favor of Natrona County. Now Central has a chance to regain the lead here in this contest and possibly close it out for a victory.
We are tied 21-21, 5:38 to go on the Taco John scoreboard. Talich, along with Brady Storbo, split to the near side. On top is Brock Storbo and Andrew Johnson. Lobatos is your lone back in the backfield. Lobatos straight ahead. Lobatos breaks one tackle and drives forward again. Boy, Carter Lobatos is just kicked it into another gear for Cheyenne Central. 5 yards on the run.
Again, he is a workhorse for Mike Apataka, again, and his staff.
Again, with Lobatos, as he is running over Koenig along with Kostelecki, T.J. Wilson.
He's just running over everyone on that field.
Second down to 5. Central will back off and look at another play as Cummings now will relay it to his troops. Lobatos again. breaks free, first down as he gets over midfield and down to the Mustang 48-yard line. That would be 5 yards on that run as well. Back-to-back fives.
You keep it on the ground, and again, tick, 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 goes the clock right now. Under 5 minutes remaining.
So it might be a Tegan Tippett's foot that might win this thing.
Possibly. Cheyenne Central now in Natrona County territory.
Got to hold on to the football. Cummins. Labatos again. Labatos gets away from one tackle and cuts it back against the grain on the other side, and he will be brought down at the 43. Let's give him another 5. Nice job there by Labatos. He got stacked up on the right side and then cut it back to the left.
Bounced off of one of his offensive linemen and again found a way to at least adjust, slide over to his left and get some positive yards. So they'll say he gained about 3, second down and 7.
I'm going to go with 4 on that gain. So we'll call a second down and long 6 for the Indians. Taco John scoreboard right now at the 4-minute mark. Ball resting on the Natrona 43. Back to pass goes Cummins. Cummins looking long, wants it all, fires, and it's caught by Johnson. He makes the grab at the 7-yard line, a diving grab by Andrew Johnson. That right there is what gets you to the next level of football. Andrew Johnson, what great hands.
What an acrobatic catch by Johnson on that play. And just like that, Cheyenne Central back into red zone territory with a chance to take the lead here.
Ball resting on the 8-yard line. Hand off to Labatos. He drives near the goal line. He'll be down as he goes off tackle to the 1. So give Labatos 7 after the 35-yard pass play.
3:25 remaining here in this contest. Central right now on that goal line, trying to regain the lead here.
Oh, that catch by Johnson, man, I tell you, I've seen a lot of high school football. That one, that ranks up there in one of the top catches I've ever seen.
You think there's a reason? You think there's a reason why he was at least anticipated to be an All-American this year in high school football?
Second down, ball on the 1. Full house backfield. They'll go to your money guy. That's Labatos. No signal yet. He might have got stuffed up right at the line of scrimmage. So a no gain to make it 3rd and goal.
Here's kind of the crucial play now for Cheyenne Central and Mike Apodaca.
That was one of the interesting, we haven't seen Central do a full house backfield. Boy, that reminded me of the old Jim McLeod days. Jim McLeod and Lou Roney days.
That ball right now just
you weren't born back then.
Yeah.
So again, in the backfield for the Indians, they'll go with a full house. Your lead back is Labatos. Cummins over center on a long count. Backs up.
So
and then Central will have a timeout. Good idea to talk about it. 2:13 to go. Ball right now in between the 1 and 2. At the 1.5, so we'll take a quick 30-second timeout. We're tied at 21s on the Taco John scoreboard. Back after this 30-second timeout on 1480 KRAE. Nick, 2:13 left here at Cheney Alumni Field. Mustangs and the Central Indians. This is the battles of yesteryear. These two teams have all, like Coach Hirschman said, they've met about 100 times.
Yeah, again, this is good old just fashion shootout here in Casper, Wyoming between these two. Again, Central, number 4 team in the preseason polls. Natrona County, the number 3 team in the preseason polls. This has been a fun one. Again, it has been back and forth momentum. Cheyenne Central early out of the gates. Natrona County answering back in the 3rd quarter. And here we're seeing Cheyenne Central trying to regain the lead here.
Well, Mike Apodaca, part of those championship teams that won the state championships. Eli Castillo in the backfield now for Cheyenne Central. Cummings, he'll call his own number. He gets pushed in by Labados. Touchdown! So we'll give him a 2-yard touchdown, and that'll be Andrew Cummings' first touchdown as a Cheyenne Central Indian rushing.
And make that a 6-point advantage now for Cheyenne Central, pending the PAT.
As Tippett and the very critical PAT coming up right now for the Indians. Lewis to hold. Snap is back. Placement is down. Kick through the uprights. And good. Central 28. Natrona 21. 2:09 to go. Back after the 60-second timeout on 1480 KRAE. Oh, Andrew Cummings getting a touchdown to put Central on top as he goes behind T.J. Wilson and Colin Hummel to scamper in for 2 yards, and got a little help from Carter Labados to help the way. Tippett's to boot it away, and this one is going to be a line shot, and in and out of the hands, it goes into the, and it'll go out of bounds. Oh, my. Oh, my. You want to talk about a bad break, good break if you're a Cheyenne Central Indian fans, but for one Caden Wilcox, it bounced off his shoulder pad and then skirted out. Let's see where they're going to spot. It looks like about the 2.
I think around the 2-yard line on that play. That has kind of been a theme for Natrona County here in this contest where, again,
Tippett's hit a line drive that one too.
Yeah, again, it took a bad bounce off. And, yeah, for Cheyenne Central, that's huge. You'll take that play any day. And now backs up Natrona County well into their own end zone.
They got 98 yards to navigate through. Taubert in his end zone. Bundy to his left. He's back to pass. He'll flare one out. Picked out, touchdown! Nathaniel Talents picks it off and takes it in. 2 yards out. Wow. And the Indians are up by 2 scores. Nathaniel Talent looking right into the eyes of Taubert and takes it in from 2 yards out. Indians now up by 2 scores with 2:02 to go.
A game that has been nothing but momentum for both teams. Central has all of it in the entire world, and just like that, they're up by 2 scores in this contest, and they're looking to go 1-0 here in the 2020 campaign.
Tippett's on to attempt the PAT. Lewis will hold again for Central. Snap is down. Placement is up. Kick through the uprights and good. Central 35. Natrona 21. We will be back after the 60-second timeout on 1480 KRAE. Nick, way before your time. That was shades of Jack Squirick picking off the Washington Redskins in the Super Bowl and taking it in from short range right before halftime.
You don't have any references current?
Not as of late, but that Talich one, that was huge.
Yeah, that was a big-time play. Give kudos to Talich on that one. Just like that, Cheyenne Central 2-possession lead against Natrona County with 2:02 left.
Wilcox bobbles it again, picks it up at the 10, 15, 20, still on his feet, and dropped at the 27-yard line. As Tippett that time kept it in play. Wilcox that time actually dropped it, picked it up, and turned a positive gain. So for the Mustangs, they're going to have to hurry up and fire the football. I do believe they still have two timeouts
left with 1:57 remaining. So, again, you got to have a quick drive here, a quick scoring drive, and find a way to at least get that onside kick as well.
They got that speedster Douglas to the near side. Is how much protection Taubert gets. Taubert right now operates out of the gun at the 27-yard line. He's back to pass. Fires a screen in and out of the hands of Bundy and incomplete. He would have been dropped right on the spot.
You can see right now Cheyenne Central on the defense. They are jacked up. They are fired up right now. They're flying across the entire field.
Yeah, matter of fact, Labatos was right there at the time the pass reached Bundy. $1.55 on the Taco John scoreboard.
Again, so far, Cheyenne schools on this date have been 0 for 2. Cheyenne Central looking to break that streak and be the only team that wins from the city of Cheyenne.
Again, keeping our eye on Douglas. He's to the near side, along with Allison. Back to pass goes Taubert. He's got plenty of time. Fires over the middle. He's got Kelly. Check that, Allison. Allison makes the grab inside Central territory at the 47-yard line. 27 yards on the pass play. So Allison with his third reception for the Mustangs.
As the clock will continue to wind down here. 1:40 remaining.
Taubert out of the gun, back to pass. Pump fakes, fires long, wants it all. Down the sidelines, it's Kelly, incomplete as he bumped into Johnson. And it will be 2nd down and 10.
Trying to go for that circus catch one-handed there, but did not count. So, again, it will be 2nd down for Natrona County into Central territory.
So, again, the speedsters are out there. Kelly.
1:30 remaining in this contest.
Allison along with Douglas. Nice pump fake by Taubert, but Johnson didn't bite on it.
And how big of a statement win will this be for Cheyenne Central to go on the road against Natrona County and get this victory where, again, that third quarter was very iffy. It looked bleak.
And come from behind, no less, too, after taking a 14-0 lead. Taubert out of the gun. Back to pass. Gets a block from Bundy. Fires to Kelly. Kelly makes the grab at the 40-yard line. That's going to be short of the first down and a pickup of 7. So 7 yards for Kelly on that grab. And a quick offense now for the Mustangs. They're up to the football. Tick, tick, tick goes the clock. They're saving their 2 timeouts. Taubert on a 3rd down call. He's back to pass. Swings it out and in and out of the hands of Cox. Incomplete. 4th down. That'll stop the clock for the Mustangs.
With 58.8 seconds remaining in this contest. 4th down for Natrona County at the 40-yard line.
Cox could not haul it in on the flare, so it will be a 4th down call for the Mustangs. Ball game right here in the balance.
Yeah, without a doubt, ball game here. As you see the Central High faithful across the way getting at least fired up, cheering on their Indians.
Taubert, 4th down and 3. He's back to pass. Plenty of time. Steps, throws, got a man. It's tipped away by Andrew Johnson. And the Indians will take over on downs. It's fall-on ball time for the Indians. Victory formation time for the Indians. Now, again, the Mustangs can stop it twice.
Yeah. Again, I think that might be a play by Harshman. Again, stopping that at least clock a few times here while you have that shot. But pretty much, again, for Cheyenne Central, you're moving to 1-0 here in the 2020 campaign with a big-time statement win on the road against Natrona County.
Oh, the Andrew Johnson catch, that one he just laid out for, was huge. The Talich INT touchdown. Oh, my. two big-time plays from big-time players for the Indians. And, again, victory formation for the Indians. Cummins takes a knee. And I think Coach Harshman is just going to let it tick down. They know they can't get the ball back, so the Indians will have to snap it one more time. Huge win for Mike Apodaca and the Indians.
And hopefully we will chat with Mike Apodaca. He'll join us up here in the press box to talk about this victory. Again, as there's multiple talking points about this contest of how up and down it felt. Again, there was a point in the third quarter where this felt like it was bleak for Cheyenne Central, that they were letting this game slip out of their hands. And here we stand now. Again, two big possessions. Again, one big INT, a pick six for Johnson. Where, again, right now, Cheyenne Central is moving to 1-0 on the season.
And the Indians are celebrating right now on the field. The unfortunate part now with COVID-19, you don't have that opportunity anymore to do the shaking hands, which was customary, but the Indians have done it. They have come from behind here in the second half as they were trailing. And again, when I told you the Mustangs put one more on the board, the Indians needed a defensive stand. I said stick a fork in the Indians. Well, the Indians, for some reason, I don't know how they did it, but that defense came on out and made a huge stop in the fourth quarter.
So, again, we won't have the handshake, but, again, they will join.
They'll acknowledge each other.
They'll get at the hash marks, and, again, they will salute each other, acknowledge each other. So, again, that's just where we are in the world right now with COVID-19, to social distance and, again, keep kind of the separation, but also, to make sure that these student-athletes have a full season. Hopefully do not get it cut short of what we saw, or at least not have a season like at least springtime sports, what we saw here in the state of Wyoming and, again, across the entire nation.
So, for the Indians, they win 35-21. Let's get you caught up on the scoring. Indians led 14-0 after the first half. Again, Johnson, 9-yard touchdown on the fly sweep. Johnson caught a 54-yard touchdown from Cummings to make it 14-0. We thought the Indians were going to be on the route mode.
Yeah.
But then again, we remembered where we were at.
Yeah.
We were at Casper, Natrona, and Steve Harshman. So we go no scoring in the second quarter. We come back in the third quarter, and immediately out of the box, a nice drive by the Mustangs as Taubert hit Cox for 19 yards on an 80-yard drive. Hoppins makes the kick good, 14-7. Taubert with 3:37 to go in the third period on a 1-yard run. Hoppins with the kick ties it at 14. And then you go and look at this one after an interception by Cummins, who threw his fourth INT, and a 6-yard run by Taubert, with Hoppins making the kick good, 21-14.
Yeah.
We move into the fourth quarter, and it's like you need something to happen. Well, the Indians got a great defensive stop. They got fairly decent field position. And Brock Storbo caught a 2-yard pass from Cummings. We thought Cummings was going to take it in himself, but the big play was Andrew Johnson laying out on a huge 35-yard reception.
I think the biggest play, and again, you could spotlight whether it was that INT there at the end, that pick six, that put Cheyenne Central, again, 2 possessions ahead of Natrona County. But I think the big play was early in that fourth quarter, at least midway in the fourth quarter for Cheyenne Central's defense. I think just as a defense, again, as we were talking, hey, the momentum is so far on Natrona County's side. You need to find a slow down this offense that was, again, 3 offensive possessions in a row, scoring 3 touchdowns. You need to find a way to slow them down, quiet down this crowd. And, again, I spotlight that defensive effort. Again, the 3-and-out that started the momentum of where we saw, again, for Cheyenne Central to at least come away with the upset victory here on the road.
You look at the Josh Mosley. We called his name quite a bit on the defensive side. But if you hand out a game football defensively, Nathaniel Talich.
Oh, without a doubt,
2 INTs. Nothing more huge than the one with 2:07 to go in this contest where he picked it off from 2 yards out. He read the quarterback all the way. Taubert fired it right into his waiting arms, and it was just a hop, skip, and a jump into the end zone.
Simple enough.
And another Tippett's kick to make it 35-21, our final score. Final score again, Indians win 35-21. We will take a 2-minute timeout, and we will be right back to Cheney Alumni Field after these words.
Are you looking for fun? The all-new, completely redesigned 2020 Kia Soul has what you're looking for. AJ Miller here for Kia of Cheyenne, and the 2020 Kia Soul has updated details inside and out to provide great comfort and drivability. Check out the high-tech features available: turbocharged engine, paddle shifters, and an 8-inch heads-up color display. Come in today, call 775-0123, or go to kiaofcheyenne.com, and we'll make it easy.
As we are back, as I'm trying to decipher my notes here, Nick, and matter of fact, why don't you go ahead if you got something you'd want to talk about.
I'm trying to get a few things sorted out. What we can do is just recap again the final scores from around Class 4A, where again every game now finally is at least final, I should say, but Class 4A, looking across town here in Casper, at Casper Kelly Walsh, where they took care of business against Cheyenne South by a final score of 54-14, so a 40-point victory there. Cheyenne East, unfortunately, falls at least short of defeating Thunder Basin in Gillette, 34-28. Sheridan takes care of business against Laramie. The Plainsmen 42-10 in that victory. Rock Springs on the road at Campbell County, taking on the Camels. They win that contest 35-6. So again, for Cheyenne schools, Wish Central getting the victory against Natrona County. Again, Cheyenne goes 1-2 here in week 0. So Cheyenne Central as your lone team here in the city of Cheyenne that has a victory, and again starts out this 2020 campaign 1-0.
All right, Nick, I'm going to give you some very quick stats here, and we're going to run them down for the Mustangs first, because that's the easiest way to get it done here. We can tell you tonight, rushing-wise, again, all unofficial stats from me. I have Taubert, and again, you can get complete stats, I do believe, through the Wyoming Tribune Eagle or the Casper Star Tribune that was here. Taubert was 20 rushes for 73 yards. He had a score tonight. Wickham, who ran the football for the Mustangs, had 2 yards in the first half, and he really was non-factor in the second half. That's all. He ended up the night with 2 yards. Bundy, 9 rushes. He did the bulk of the work in the second half, Nick.
Yeah.
He ended up the night with 9 rushes for 29 yards. Douglas had 10 yards to the negative on the fumble. Natrona, which turned it over 4 times tonight, 3 interceptions and that fumble by Douglas. Passing for Taubert, I have him unofficially, I should say, 11 receptions, 23 passes, 3 INTs. Total yardage on the night, I'm going to go somewhere around the neighborhood of about 185 yards, again, give or take a few. On the receiving side, Douglas only 1 catch. That was huge, but they also kept him in check tonight, as he only had 1 catch for 42 yards. Kelly, on the other hand, he was 2 catches for 54 yards. Cox had 3 for 32. Wilcox had 1 for 2, and Allison caught 3 aerials for 62 yards. So that is your offense for the Natrona Mustangs. Looking at Cheyenne Central, well, Labatos basically took care of the football after running for 50 yards in the first half. He ran a little wild in the second half. We haven't finished up those numbers yet for Lobatos, but we will try to get those numbers here in a little bit. I can guarantee you he went over 100 yards rushing for tonight for the Indians.
And again, he picked up a good amount, at least good amount of those yardage there in the fourth quarter, where again they just kind of stuck to that ground game after trying to get away from the multiple INT night that unfortunately Cummins was suffering here tonight.
I have him unofficially at 118 yards tonight rushing, but I'll tell you what, you want to talk about toeing the rock for Cheyenne Central. He had 10 carries in the first half. I've got him here at, wow. You sit here and you look at it. He carried the ball 16 times in the second half. 26 rushes tonight for those 118 yards. So talk about earning again, in the pro life would be earning a paycheck. He did. Cummings tonight for the Central Indians, he had a rough go early on, 6 rushes for -5 yards. Well, he ended up the night with 8 rushes for -5 yards, but he does have a 2-yard touchdown. For Cummings, 1 carry this evening for 8 yards. And looking at the passing side, well, that's going to take me forever to figure out now. So, but I will tell you on the receiving side tonight, Johnson, who had 5 catches for 82 yards at halftime, well, you can tack on a couple more yards for Johnson as he ended up, again, this is all unofficial, 7 receptions tonight for about 127 yards. So somewhere around that neighborhood, 125 yards for Johnson, 7 receptions. Brock Storbo tonight, he had 3 catches for 17 yards and a touchdown. We look at Talich, he caught 2 for 18 yards tonight. And Brady Storbo, again, he started off the night big. He had 4 catches. Actually, he had 5 because he had 1 in the second half that went for no gain, 5 catches for 78 yards. So you can see the Indians tonight on the passing side threw for well over 200 yards. Again, a lot of numbers up there for one Andrew Cummings tonight. That included 4 INTs as well.
Again, neither quarterback here tonight for Natrona or again for Cheyenne Central played a near perfect game. Again, it is week 0, butterflies, nerves, all about throughout the entire team. So.
And most importantly, we played football tonight.
Yeah.
So that's going to wrap things up here real quick while I got a chance to remind you that Nick and myself next Friday night at the Okie Blanchard Sports Complex, it will be Cheyenne East matching up with the same Natrona Mustangs. Both teams are going to be coming off losses. Both teams are going to be loaded for bear. And, again, 2 premier programs hooking up in Cheyenne coming up next Friday night.
You would think that Cheyenne East is going to have the slight advantage being at home, but also, too, again, where their loss came on the road against Thunder Basin, Natrona County has to take that tough pill to swallow where, again, you had a chance to win here at home against Cheyenne Central, but, again, you found a way to let it slip through your fingers. So, again, I think Cheyenne East give them that opportunity or at least give them that slight advantage coming up week 1, game 2 of the regular season coming up next Friday night.
Not blowing you off here. I was just going to say Cummins tonight, unofficially, I have him at 16 for 29 with 4 interceptions. So that was a busy night for the senior quarterback. We do want to thank all of our fine sponsors. I'm going to run the list backwards this time. I want to thank our newest member calling us on the way up here today, John at Aero Moving and Storage, and the great crew over there. Foot of the Rockies, High West Energy, Laramie County Community College, Chick-fil-A, Cheyenne Urological, Charles Schwab, B&B Appliance and TV, the Breadbasket Bakery, Capital Lumber Company, Wyoming Department of Transportation, Key of Cheyenne, First Tier Bank, Lennox Auto Body, MHP, LLP, Platte Valley Bank, Medicap Pharmacy, Taco John's, the Gilwinter Company, Mary's Mountain Cookies, Pete's Builders, Burns Insurance Agency, Merit Plumbing and Heating, Halliday Motors, Baskin-Robbins, the LCCC Flight Crew, and Cheyenne Auto Repair and Service. Want to thank back at the house his first day on the job, Miles Enstad, for pushing Well, all the right buttons. So, we
it's the first day, so again, it wasn't 100% at least.
Hey, on-the-job training,
yeah,
that's the way you go.
know.
As long as we got to bring the final score in, and which shows the Indians winning by the count of 35-21. So, Miles, thank you so much. And for Nick Proietti, I'm Larry Proietti. We're going to say adios from the Oil City. Back with you again next Friday evening from the Oakey Blanchard Sports Complex. The same Mustangs and the Cheyenne East Thunderbirds. So, join us with our pregame show right around 6:15, 6:20. So, for Nick, Miles, I'm Larry Proietti. Have a good evening. Now we return